In this video, I'm going to show you how to start your very own cosmetics brand with Shopify from scratch, completely step by step. And these are the exact steps I took to launch the cosmetics brand you see on screen now in 30 days and achieve my first sales. And the best part is you won't need to invest in any upfront inventory, as I'll be showing you how to work with a cosmetics supplier that will allow you to build your own cosmetics products and dropship them one at a time. I'll be showing you how to conduct product research, how to design your cosmetics brand, including the packaging and high-converting online store. As you can see, this store has custom images, a how-to-use section, a video carousel, high-converting product copy, and reviews. And finally, I'll show you how to launch ad campaigns for your cosmetics business to achieve your first sales. So if you've always wanted to start your very own cosmetics business without investing thousands upfront, this is the video for you. This is Elliot with Judge.me, and let's get straight into it. The first thing you're going to do to launch your cosmetics brand is sign up for Shopify. Shopify is the platform you'll use to build your cosmetics business. If you use the link in the description, you can get Shopify for 3 days free and then just $1 per month. So click on the link and sign up using your email address. Next up, let's look at creating a brand identity for your cosmetics brand. So this will include the name, the logo, color scheme, and font pairing for your brand. To come up with a name for your cosmetics brand, we can use a free tool called Namelix. So head over to namelix.com. Namelix uses AI to generate short, brandable business names based on keywords you provide. From the homepage, enter a few keywords related to your cosmetics brand, so you could enter something like natural skincare glow beauty. Try to use words that reflect your niche and brand identity. Once you've entered your keywords, click Generate. You'll then be asked to choose a name style. You can choose from options like brandable names, which are unique invented words, compound words which combine two words together, or alternative spellings. For a cosmetics brand, I'd recommend going with brandable names, as these tend to look more premium and professional. You can also choose level of randomness. Low will give you more straightforward names, medium is a good balance, and high will give you more creative and unusual options. Choose your preferences and click Generate. Namelix will then generate a list of brand name suggestions. Each one comes with a logo concept, so you can visualize how the name might look as a brand. You can scroll through the results, and if you see a name with a green checkmark next to it, that means the domain name is available for purchase, which is really important if you want to build a website around your brand. You can click on any name to see more details, and if you like a name, click the heart icon to save it to your favorites. The more names you save, the better the algorithm gets at suggesting names you'll like. Once you've found a name you're happy with, you can purchase the domain directly or head over to a domain registrar to secure it. Now we have a name for our cosmetics brand, we need to create a brand identity. And to do this, we're going to use Fiverr. The reason we're using Fiverr for this is so we can get professional branding for our cosmetics brand without spending thousands on a branding agency. It speeds up the entire process of getting the brand off the ground, and it means you can have a professional logo, fonts, and color palette designed for you in just a few days. So head over to Fiverr and search for a logo designer. The gig I'm using is from this designer here. They specialize in modern minimalist logo design, which works perfectly for a cosmetics brand. You can start with the cheapest package on the gig to keep costs low, especially if you're just starting out. The quality across the packages is the same. The main difference is the number of concepts and revisions you'll receive. Once you've found a designer you're happy with, purchase the gig and you'll be asked to fill out the requirements. Now, the key to getting a great result from your designer is being as specific as possible in your requirements. Here's what I sent to my designer. I said, "Hi there, I am starting a cosmetics/skincare brand called Labs, and I'm looking for a designer to create basic brand guidelines for the brand. The overall direction is minimal, clinical, and sophisticated, similar to brands like The Ordinary, but with a slightly more distinctive and premium feel." I then provided a reference link to The Ordinary's website so the designer could see the exact aesthetic I was going for. I also mentioned that I didn't want the branding to be purely black and white like The Ordinary. I wanted an accent color to make the brand more unique and recognizable, and then I listed exactly what I needed designed, so a brand logo or wordmark, primary and secondary fonts, and a color palette, including an accent color. Now, the important thing here is to provide your designer with examples of competitor cosmetics brands that you like and want to model your store on. This gives the designer a clear visual direction to work with, So if you love the look of brands like The Ordinary, Glossier, CeraVe, or any other cosmetics brand, send your designer links to their websites and tell them what you like about each one. The more reference material you give them, the closer the final result will be to what you have in mind. Once you've submitted your requirements, the designer will get to work, and within a few days you'll receive your brand kit with your logo, fonts, and color palette ready to use across your Shopify store, packaging, and marketing materials. Now that we've signed up for Shopify, the first thing we're going to do is install a theme onto our store. Think of a theme as a pre-built template for your store that determines the design, layout, and some additional store functionality. To build our cosmetics brand, we're going to be using a paid Shopify theme called the Shrine theme. The Shrine theme has loads of features and sections built into it, such as comparison tables, upsells, image blocks, before and after sections, and more that help your store convert. It's also a super fast theme so your store loads quickly, and the layout and design ensures your store looks clean and professional from day one. Of course, you can choose another theme for your store or even a free theme. The same principles you'll learn in this tutorial can still be applied to other themes. However, the Shrine theme is highly optimized for conversions. So from the Shrine theme homepage, scroll down and click Get Started on the Shrine theme. At this stage, you don't need the Pro license. From the product page, add the Shrine theme to the cart and go to the checkout, then finish completing payment for the Shrine theme at the checkout. Once you've completed your purchase of the Shrine theme, you'll receive an email prompting you to go to the Shrine dashboard. Once you click through to the dashboard, you'll have to create a Shrine account, so click on Register, enter the email address you want to use for your Shrine account, and choose a password, then click Create Account. Click Next Step, and then you'll be prompted to enter in your Shrine theme license key, which can be found in the purchase confirmation email, so enter it in and click Add Key. Next, you'll need to whitelist your store's URLs, so you can start with your Shopify URL. Go to your Shopify settings, click on Domains and copy and paste your Shopify URL into your Shrine dashboard. You can then add any custom domains you're using on your store to your whitelisted URLs and click Submit. Next up, download the Shrine theme zip file. Once you've downloaded this, go to your Shopify dashboard, go to Online Store, and under Themes, click on the drop-down in the top right that says Import Theme. Then choose Upload Zip File and upload the Shrine theme zip file you just downloaded. Once the theme has finished installing, hit Publish and then click Edit Theme. In the top left, click the gear icon to go to the theme settings, and under Authentication, paste in your theme authentication code, which you can find in your Shrine dashboard. Go back to your Shrine dashboard and click Continue, then click Go to Dashboard. Your Shrine theme has now been installed successfully. Now we've installed our Shopify theme. Next up, we can register an account with our cosmetic supplier Selfnamed and connect the supplier platform to our Shopify store. Head to selfnamed.com and in the top right corner, click on Sign Up. You can create an account with your email address or use Google or Facebook to sign in. I'm going to sign in with my Google account. You'll be prompted to enter in some information about your brand and complete a merchant survey. I'm going to skip the survey for now. You'll then be brought to the Selfnamed dashboard. The first thing we'll do is connect our Shopify store to Selfnamed. So then we can sync products and orders between the two. So click on My Stores, and from here we can click Connect Now under the Shopify option and click Connect Now again. Agree to the terms of service and hit Continue. Then install the Selfnamed Shopify app. You'll then be brought back to the Selfnamed dashboard. Next up, we can design our hero product and push it to our Shopify store. So click on Product Catalog. Find your hero product in the Selfnamed catalog and click Add Design. Then in the top right corner, click Add Design again. From here, we can create two designs, one for the product box and one for the label added to the bottle. In the tabs on the left, you can click Styles, and you'll see some pre-made packaging templates that you can add to your products. So test some of these and see if you find one that suits your brand. You can also download the packaging templates if you want to create your own design. I am going to use one of the pre-made styles but edit the background and text color to match my brand. If you click Upload, you can upload an image of your logo and place this on your product packaging. Make sure the logo image has a transparent background. Once you're happy with your design, you can click on Preview to see what your product will look like. You can of course go back and edit your design further if there is anything you want to change. For example, I thought the logo on my bottle label was too close to the top, so I moved this down slightly. When you're happy with your packaging, you can download the preview images to use later. So hit bulk download, select the images you want to download and click continue. Click continue again, and now we're ready to push the product to our Shopify store. So choose your Shopify store and hit continue. From here, you can edit some of the product information before pushing it to your store. Don't worry too much about this because we're going to edit most of this later on in the tutorial. So we'll edit the product price. I am going to price my product at a very similar price point to my main competitors, so you can do the same. I'll add some additional information to the product description. Again, we'll write an in-depth product description later, so leave everything else as the default and hit continue. Choose the same images you want to use as your product images. We'll be creating high converting images later on in the tutorial, so don't worry about these for now and click continue. You'll then come back to your Selfnamed dashboard and see a message saying product added to store. You'll also be prompted to add a payment method to your Selfnamed account, so you can go ahead and add this. So now we've created and published our first product. Next up, we're going to sort some of our Shopify front-end design and back-end systems, such as our logo and color scheme, our custom domain, email notifications, and checkout settings. So then our store is set up and ready to contact influencers and creators to create some content to use to market our brand. We'll start with our store's color scheme, logo, and fonts. From your Shopify dashboard, click on Online Store and then click on Theme Editor. Click on the gear icon to go to the theme settings, and we'll start off by changing the color scheme. Under accent color, I'm going to change this to the same color I used on my product packaging. You only need 1 or 2 accent colors, and you can keep the rest of your color scheme black, white, and gray. Next up, we have our logo. From here, you can upload your store's logo, which should be 265 by 90 pixels, and your store's site icon, which can be 500 by 500 pixels. You can resize your logo using the slider. If we go back to the theme settings, we can change our store fonts. I am going to use the default Poppins font, as this is the same font on my product packaging. However, feel free to change this. Use a simple font pairing. Only use 1 or 2 fonts on your store. Once you've done this, you can save your changes and head back to the Shopify dashboard. To purchase a domain for your cosmetics brand, click Settings in your Shopify dashboard and navigate to Domains. Click Buy New Domain, then enter the domain name you want to use for your cosmetics brand. When you find the domain name you want to use, click Buy. Enter in your billing information and click Buy Domain. You'll then be brought to a page that says you've purchased a new domain. Click on See Domain Status. Your domain might say propagating. This process can take a few hours, so come back to Domains after a little while, and you'll be prompted to verify your contact information in order to verify the ownership of your domain. You'll receive an email from Shopify with a confirmation link to confirm your domain ownership. Once you verify your domain, you should see your domain connected to your store after a few moments. Next up, we have your shipping settings and global markets. From your Shopify dashboard, click Settings and click Shipping and Delivery. You'll notice you have 2 shipping profiles, a general profile and a self-named profile. And this is because we have connected our store to Selfnamed, and the Selfnamed shipping prices are syncing through automatically. However, we don't want to use the Selfnamed shipping profile. The reason being is because Selfnamed's shipping prices can be slightly high, and psychologically this can put customers off from purchasing. So we're going to absorb the Selfnamed shipping price into our product price and create our own shipping prices. So click on your Selfnamed shipping profile, click Products, and remove your product from the shipping profile. Then go back to Shipping Profiles. Now click into your general shipping profile, click Products, and make sure your product has been added to this shipping profile. You can then scroll down to the bottom of your shipping profile and you'll see Not Fulfilling From, and see the Selfnamed app under this. Click Start Shipping, choose Use Existing Shipping Options from another location, and choose Shop Location, then click Done. Next up, you can set up your store markets. A market basically allows you to sell to different countries from one store. So you can set up a market for different countries and regions, such as the EU, which would be a market including all countries from Europe, North America, which would be a market with the US, Canada, and Mexico, and so on. You can of course decide which markets you want to set up. The product I'm selling from Selfnamed only ships to Europe, so I'm only going to need to set up a market for the UK and EU. However, I will show you how to set up markets for different regions. From your shipping settings, you'll see a message in your shipping zones saying to start selling to regions in this zone, include them in a market. So click on the market link and you'll be brought to your Shopify markets. You can use Shopify's AI assistant Sidekick to create markets for you. So I'm going to click Create European Union Market. Shopify's AI will add all relevant countries to this market, and you'll see Use Local Currencies under the Currency section. This means when a customer from this country purchases, they'll see their local currency at the checkout. So I'll do the same with the US and Canada market to show you how quick and easy it is to set up a market. However, the Selfnamed product I'm selling doesn't currently ship to the US. Once you create a market, you can go back to your shipping and delivery settings. By default, Shopify might add certain countries to an international shipping rate that has already been created. So you can remove any countries from your shipping rates that you don't plan on shipping to by clicking on the three dots, clicking Edit Zone, unticking any countries you don't plan on selling to, and clicking Done. Remember, when it comes to marketing your store, you should already have a plan in place for the country you want to target. For example, I'm going to be focusing on the UK market, so I only really need to ensure that a shipping rate and market is set up for the UK. Now we want to decide on our shipping price along with absorbing the Selfnamed shipping price into the sell price of our product. So head to your Selfnamed dashboard and click on My Products. Find your product and click Add to Cart, then click to My Bag. Click Continue to check out and enter a shipping address for the country you plan on marketing your store to. So I'm going to enter in a UK address. When you enter this in and scroll down, you'll see the Selfnamed shipping price for your product. So you can see my product has two options to the UK, £8.18 for standard shipping and £10.26 for express shipping. I can also see the total cost of goods for this product including shipping, which is £22.06. As I've already mentioned, this product only ships to the UK and Europe. You can click on the country drop-down within this checkout to see which countries your Selfnamed products ship to. As my total cost of goods is £22.06, I'm going to charge $39.99 for my product, which is in alignment with what other competitor stores are selling the product for. And then I'm going to have two flat rate shipping options, standard for $2.99 and express for $4.99. We can edit our current shipping rates and update them with our own pricing, so click on the three dots and click Edit Shipping Option. You can give your shipping option a name, so I'm going to call this Standard, and under Rate Type I'm going to choose Flat Rate, and then I'm going to enter in my shipping price, so I'm going to charge $2.99. Under Delivery Details, choose Tracking Number Provided, and then we can add the length of time your shipping rate will take to deliver to a customer. This will be based on what you see in Selfnamed. So under Transit Time, I'm going to choose Custom and enter in the amount of days shipping will take for this rate. You'll then see an estimated delivery date, and this date should match the one you see in Selfnamed if you have entered the correct amount of days. We can then click Done. Now I'm going to delete any other shipping rates I don't need and simply repeat this process for the express shipping rate, which I'm going to charge $4.99 for. Again, I can add the transit time in days and make sure this matches the date in Selfnamed. Finally, I'm going to add the same shipping rate to my EU shipping zone and just name the rates Standard International and Express International with the same pricing and transit times. The last thing I'm going to do is amend my product price. My cost of goods including shipping is £22.06 on Selfnamed, so I'm going to sell my product for $39.99 with $2.99 shipping, giving me a £21 profit margin on my product. Next, we're going to set up our store's email templates and notification settings. When a customer makes a purchase on your store, they'll receive a confirmation email. You want this email to match your store's branding, so click Settings and click Notifications. From here, click Customer Notifications and then click Customize Email Templates. We can start by uploading our brand logo to the email confirmation emails, so click Add Image and upload your brand logo. You can then change the accent color on the email templates to match your brand, so I am going to choose my brand color and then click Save. Now we can see our email templates looking completely branded. If we go back to notifications, we can change our sender email address. Because we purchased our domain through Shopify, we can change this to a branded email, for example, contact@ceravelabs.com. If you purchased your domain through another registrar, you'll have to create a branded email using your domain and another platform like Google Workspace. If you're using your Shopify domain like me, just remember that this email account doesn't actually exist. This is just the email address customers will see when they receive a confirmation email from your store. So if they reply to this email address, it will be forwarded to the original email address you used to sign up for your store. However, you can, of course, create a branded email address too, using something like Google Workspace or Zoho Mail. So enter a branded email address and click Save. Shopify will say email domain authentication is propagating. If you click on this, you will see it can take up to 48 hours for this process to be complete. However, it is usually much quicker than this. Once this process has been completed, you'll see the customer sender domain authenticated, which means customers will see your branded email address in their inbox. Shopify Payments is the easiest way to accept debit and credit cards directly on your store. To get started, navigate to your Shopify dashboard and click on Settings in the bottom left-hand corner. From the Settings menu, select Payments. You'll see the Shopify Payments section at the top. Click the Complete Account Setup button to begin. First, you need to select your business category. You can choose between an individual/sole trader, a registered business, or a non-profit. If you're just starting out and haven't incorporated yet, select individual/sole trader and click Next. Now you'll need to provide your account representative details, enter your first name and last name, and then input your date of birth. Verify that your email address and phone number are accurate. Below that, you'll need to confirm your residential address. Shopify may autofill this based on your store settings, but make sure the street address, city, and postcode are correct before clicking Next. You'll then reach the Value Added Tax section. If you aren't VAT registered yet, simply select I do not have a VAT number and click Next. Finally, you'll reach the summary page. Review all your details to ensure they are accurate. Before you can submit, you must confirm your identity by uploading the required documents. Click Upload to provide a residential address document such as a bank statement, utility bill, or council tax bill. Then click Upload for your identity document where you can provide a scan of your passport, driver's license, or national ID card. Once those are uploaded, click Submit for verification. You'll be redirected back to the payments dashboard, where your status will show as pending resolution while Shopify reviews your details. While you wait, you need to tell Shopify where to send your money. Click Add Account under the Payout section. Ensure the currency is correct, then enter your sort code and account number. Double-check these numbers to avoid any payment delays. Once entered, click Save. Once everything is processed, you'll see Accepting Payments and Receiving Payouts marked with green check marks. If you see a red banner at the top of your home screen saying Shopify Payments sales are paused, it usually means they need one more piece of information. Just click Contact Support to resolve it quickly, and you'll be ready to start selling. Customizing your checkout is key to building trust and keeping your branding consistent. To do this, start at your Shopify dashboard and click Settings, then select Checkout from the left-hand menu. Under the Configuration section, click the Customize button. This will open the theme editor specifically for your checkout page. On the left-hand side, look for the Header section. Click Add Image to upload your store's logo. Once you've selected your logo, you can adjust the logo alignment to the left, center, or right. You can also use the slider to change the logo width to ensure it looks perfectly balanced on the page. Now scroll down to the Colors section to match the checkout to your brand's palette. First, let's change the accents. Click the color picker and select a shade that pops. This is usually for links and highlights. Next, click on Buttons. You can change these to a bold color, like black or your primary brand color, to make the complete purchase button stand out. Finally, you can adjust the error color. While it defaults to red, you can soften it or match it to your theme's specific red tone. Take a look at the live preview on the right. You can see how your logo, colors, and fonts all come together to create a professional look. If you're happy with the changes, click the Save button in the top right-hand corner. Your checkout is now fully branded and ready for customers. Next up, we're going to design the store homepage. The homepage isn't super important because we're going to be sending our traffic to the product page. So the homepage simply needs to look clean and professional and provide some information about our hero product. The Shrine theme will have included some sections on your homepage by default, so we can use these sections to create our homepage. We're going to begin writing some copy for our store when creating the homepage. So you can use a tool like ChatGPT or Google Gemini to start writing copy for your store and feeding the AI information about your hero product. I'm going to use Google Gemini to write the copy, but ChatGPT will also work for this as well. So I've just said I'm selling a competitor to this product and then pasted in a link to my competitor's store. Then I've said my product is an AHA peeling concentrate. Here are the details. I've then copied and pasted all of the information about the product from Selfnamed, such as the product overview, ingredients, and FAQs, into Google Gemini to give it as much information about my hero product as possible. So now we can begin writing copy for each section on the homepage. Our homepage will have a hero image, a horizontal ticker outlining the product benefits, a comparison table, an icon slider, a results section, and some customer testimonials. So I've listed all of these sections and asked Gemini to write copy for each of these sections. Now this part is really important. Emphasize to the AI that you want it to write copy that is pain point and tangible outcome focused. You always want to focus on customer pain points and tangible outcomes. That is how you write copy that actually converts. Every time you prompt the AI, make sure to reiterate this. Gemini has written all of the copy for each section, and I've gone back in to re-prompt and rewrite certain sections, as they didn't focus enough on outcomes and solutions to customers' pain points. So be sure to rewrite the copy and prompt the AI again as many times as you need to get it right. Now we have all of the copy for each section on the homepage. I've simply copied and pasted this into the sections within my Shopify theme editor. The Shrine theme sections are very intuitive. All you need to do is click on a section and you'll see exactly where to paste your text in. For the finishing touch on our homepage, we can add our hero image. I've uploaded an image of my hero product that I downloaded from Selfnamed to Google Gemini. Again, you can do this in ChatGPT too if you want to. I've just said I want to create a horizontal hero image. You decide the size in pixels. Choose the right size for a Shopify homepage hero image on desktop. Base the hero image on the images attached of my product. It should have no text on it and it should be a simple hero image. The AI will then generate a hero image for you. I prompted it again to move the product further to the right so we can have our hero image text on the left on the desktop version of our store. You can then upload this to Shopify along with the hero image you want to use for the mobile version of your store and hit save. Your homepage is now ready to go. Next up, let's write our store policies. You can use AI to do the heavy lifting for you when writing your store policies. Start by giving the AI specific details about your business. For a shipping policy, tell the AI your average shipping times. You can use Selfnamed's shipping page as a reference for this. So I've just pasted the Selfnamed shipping page into my prompt. Ask the AI to create a condensed customer-facing version of these terms. You'll see it generate a professional layout including order delivery times, broken down into preparation and transit phases, trusted carriers, listing your partners like FedEx or UPS, and tracking information, explaining how customers can monitor their orders. Gemini is also excellent for handling complex legalities like returns and refunds. Request a policy based on your specific region like the UK, EU, or US and your supplier's rules. For personal care or beauty products, make sure to ask Gemini to include a hygiene requirement which is perfect for cosmetics brands. This explains that items must be unopened and in original packaging to be eligible for return. This protects your business while staying compliant with consumer laws. Once you're happy with the copy, head back to your Shopify dashboard. Click on Settings in the bottom left, then scroll down to Policies. Click on the policy you want to update, such as your shipping policy. Paste your text into the rich text editor. Format the text. Use the editor tools to bold your headings and turn your bullet points into a clean list. Replace any placeholder text, like insert your support email, with your actual store email. Then click Publish or Save. For more standard policies like Terms of Service or Privacy Policy, you can use Shopify's built-in tool. Click Insert Template and Shopify will generate a compliant draft. Just make sure your store email is correct throughout. Now we've created our store policies, we can create our navigation menus. To set up your menus, go to your Shopify dashboard, click on Content, and then select Menus. Let's start with the footer menu. By default, it might only have a search bar. Click Add Menu Item to include your store policies. In the link field, navigate to Policies and select your Privacy Policy, Terms of Service, Shipping Policy, and Refund Policy one by one. Shopify will automatically fill in the label for you. To keep things organized, use the handle icon on the left to drag and drop items into your preference order. Once finished, click Save. We can also create a Track Your Order page. Go to Online Store and select Pages. Click Add Page. Give it a title, so we'll call it Track Your Order, and select the appropriate template from the drop-down menu. Make sure the visibility is set to Visible, then click Save. Now let's add the new page to your main menu. Return to Content, then Menus, and select Main Menu. You can remove default items you don't need, like the Home button, by clicking the trash icon. Click Add Menu Item, search for the Track Your Order page you just created, and add it to your menu. You can also rename your catalog menu item. The reason we want to do this is because we only want to link to our hero product in the initial stages of building our cosmetics brand. So rename the catalog as Shop and link it to your main hero product, then click Save to apply the changes. To see your changes in action, go to Online Store, then Themes, and click Customize. Scroll down to your footer section and you'll see your Quick Links menu heading. You can change this heading to Help or Customer Care. As you click through your menu items in the preview, you'll see how they seamlessly link to your policies, products, and custom pages. Your store is now much easier to navigate, helping customers find exactly what they're looking for in just a few clicks. Now, the main page you really want to focus on building and where you want to put most of your effort is your store's product page. The reason this is the most important page is because this is where you'll be sending all of your traffic, and it's where visitors actually make the decision to buy. Because of that, you want to make sure the product page is optimized for conversions. There are a few different things we can do to help with this, but one of the main things is adding high-quality content like images and videos, as well as building social proof through reviews and customer testimonials. Now, in this tutorial, we're actually going to use influencers to help us build that content and that initial social proof. But in order for us to reach out to these influencers and get them to say yes to creating content for us, we need to have a basic product page ready to show them first. They need to see that the brand is professional before they agree to work with us. So for the next part of the tutorial, we're going to build out the basic structure for our product page. This will get it ready so we can start reaching out to those influencers, and then we'll come back and fine-tune everything later on once we actually receive the content and those reviews back from the creators. When it comes to your product page layout, all high-converting product pages have the same fundamental elements and sections. Let's take a look at a few examples in the beauty and cosmetics niche. You'll notice all of these product pages have similar elements. Let me break down what you'll want on your own product page. So firstly, each page has product information on the product images themselves. The gallery is the first thing your store visitors will see, so you want to provide them with as much information about the product as possible, as quickly as possible, so they don't click off of your store. The easiest way to do this is by utilizing the product images. You don't just want fancy shots of your product bottle, You want what I call infographic images, just like these stores have. These images actively educate your visitors, making them more likely to make a purchase. I'll show you how to get images like this for your own cosmetics brand. Next up, we have a brief bullet point description summing up the main benefits of your product. You don't want to overwhelm your store visitors with huge chunks of text and information. So make it easy for them to digest and get to the point about what your product does, what problem it solves, and what benefits it provides. As you scroll down the page, you'll see these collapsible content rows. These provide additional information to your store visitors, things like shipping times, how to use the product, and the ingredients. You'll also see most stores will introduce some bundles or upsells within this section too. This will increase your average order value. So this could be in the form of a quantity break or promoting additional products that supplement the main product. You can also add a subscription widget in this section. The great thing about cosmetic products is that they're replenishable. So if a customer likes the product, they'll purchase it on subscription. The next sections you'll see are usually some form of social proof. So either a video or image carousel or a testimonial section. I'll show you how to implement these once we start building out our product page. Then we have 3 to 4 image with text sections. These sections consist of a heading which addresses a customer's pain point, a short paragraph which outlines how your product solves that customer's pain point, and then an image that is relevant to the copy. You'll then likely see a comparison table summing up the key product benefits and creating a comparison with weaker competitor products. And then you'll see a collapsible FAQ section with product-specific FAQs, not just general FAQs about shipping and refunds. And finally, you'll see a review section. Again, this builds social proof and trust with customers and gives them an opportunity to see what other customers are saying about the product. These are the key elements all high-converting product pages have in common. You'll likely see some other sections depending on the store as well. So you may see a how-to-use section, a before and after section, or a statistics section. So now we've gone over the key elements for our product page. Let's add these sections as placeholders and build the initial layout for our product page, and then we can begin populating these elements with content once we get that content back from the creators. We're going to create a very basic product page layout so our store looks professional enough to contact influencers and get them to create content for our product. From your Shopify dashboard, click Themes under Online Store and click Edit Theme. Navigate to your product page and you can start off by deleting all of the default sections that are below the gallery on the product page, so then we can build from a clean slate. Once you've deleted all of the sections below the gallery, we can begin adding the sections we need. In the left-hand column, you can click Add Section and start by adding a horizontal ticker. Next up, add 3 image with text sections and edit one of these image with text sections so the image placement shows second. This will break up these sections by alternating the image placement as a visitor scrolls. Now add a before and after slider section. These convert very well for cosmetics products and really demonstrate to a potential customer the outcome the product provides. You can then add another horizontal ticker to break up the page further. Next up, add a comparison table section. I am going to change the background color of this section to black just to break up some of the sections on the page. Then you can add a results section, which allows you to display customer survey information on your product page. And finally, add a collapsible content section, which will be a product-specific FAQ section. Again, I'm going to change the background color of this section to black to break up the product page visually. As we've already started writing some copy for our store when we designed our homepage, we can head back to the same chat with Google Gemini and begin populating these sections with copy about our product. As I mentioned previously, this part is really important. Emphasize to the AI that you want it to write copy that is pain point and tangible outcome focused. You always want to focus on customer pain points and outcomes. This is how you write copy that actually converts. So now I have the copy for these sections on my product page. I am simply going to copy and paste this into each section. When you add your product images to the image with text sections, Make sure they're 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels so they're a square image. I have created a custom canvas in Canva with these dimensions and resized the images I downloaded directly from Selfnamed in order to make the product images square before uploading them to Shopify. So this is what our product page looks like so far. It is looking pretty decent and good enough to start reaching out to creators. Now we have a basic design for our product page. We can begin contacting creators and influencers to create some content for our product in order to use this content to further build out our product page and begin running ads. We're going to use two platforms to reach out to these creators, Fiverr and Collabstr. The first place you can look for creators for your cosmetics brand is Fiverr. From the Fiverr homepage, you can search for UGC creator. You can filter the results to find specific creators for your brand. So I'm going to filter by location and choose the United Kingdom. I'm also going to filter by budget to find creators for less than $100. You can see I found a few different creators with very reasonably priced gigs. You can reach out to a creator using the Contact Me button on Fiverr and just say, "Hi, I hope you're well. We're looking for a custom offer for our cosmetics brand," and then just paste in a link to your store. We want to create one UGC video ad, one before and after photo, and one photo with you holding our product in your hand. Here is our script, and then paste in the script for your UGC content. I've written this script based on my competitor's most popular ad, which I can see within Minea, but you can look at your own competitor's ads and write your own script. You can use ChatGPT or Google Gemini to write your UGC scripts. But a good format to follow is hook, discovery, benefit, call to action. So when writing your scripts, follow this format. Provide the AI with as much information about your product as possible. And be sure to mention the marketing angle for your product and the customer avatar you want to target. Again, make sure you focus on customer pain points and tangible outcomes. So I've written a few different scripts, one for each creator I've reached out to on Fiverr, targeting different angles such as dark spots, uneven skin tone, open pores and blackheads, and damaged skin. I've just said let us know the pricing for this to complete the message. I've reached out to 5 different creators and agreed to the pricing for the custom gig I'm looking for. So next up, we need to send them a sample of our product. From your Shopify dashboard, click on Discounts and click Create Discount. Choose Amount Off Products. Give your discount code a name, so I'm going to call this Creator 100. Under Applies To, search for your hero product and select it. You can then choose to limit the amount of times your code can be used. Scroll down and hit Save. I've then sent this code to the creators saying, "Amazing, happy to get started on this. You can order our product on our store," and then I've sent them a link to my website. Make sure to set your store to live within Shopify so the creators are able to access it. To do this, go to Online Store, click Preferences, and toggle off the store's password. I've sent them the code and told them to use this at checkout. Once the creators have made their orders, they've sent me a custom gig on Fiverr, which I've paid for, and I have added the UGC scripts to the requirements for the gig. So now we can fulfill the orders for the creators within Selfnamed to get them sent out to the creators in order for them to create this content. I also just want to quickly mention that you can also find creators for your brand on Collabstr. Collabstr is a repository of influencers that allows you to filter and search for different creators and send them your product for UGC content. You can simply create an account, fill out your brand information, and then start searching for and reaching out to creators in the same way I just showed you on Fiverr. The great thing about Collabstr is you can filter by niche. So you can choose the beauty niche to find creators specifically for cosmetics brands. So check out Collabstr as well if you're looking for creators for your cosmetics brand. When someone makes an order on your Shopify store for one of your self-named products, you'll firstly see the order come through in Shopify. If you click into the order, you can click Request Fulfillment, then check the box that says Send a notification to the customer when Selfnamed fulfills the order, then click Send Fulfillment Request. Now head to Selfnamed and click on the Orders tab. You should see the order sync through from Shopify to Selfnamed. If your order doesn't sync through to Selfnamed, you may have encountered an error and the order in Shopify will say Request Declined. You should see the reason why there was an error and you can fix this. For example, I hadn't filled in my company name under the store address settings, so this prevented my order from syncing through to Selfnamed. You can also speak with the Selfnamed customer service using the chat widget on their platform if you have any issues when fulfilling orders. If you get multiple orders on your Shopify store, you can select multiple orders at once from your Products tab in Shopify. Click on the three dots under Orders and click Request Fulfillment to bulk fulfill your orders. Again, you should see all your orders then sync through to Selfnamed. When an order syncs through from Shopify to Selfnamed, it will be paid for automatically if you've added your card details to your Selfnamed account. And then it will go through a few steps. It will firstly say pending, and then once Selfnamed have began processing the order, it will say in process. Next up, you'll see the order say design review. When the design is approved, the order will say printed, and you'll see the estimated shipping date. If you click into an order, you can also see the status of your Selfnamed orders. Once the order has been shipped, you'll see an estimated delivery date, and the tracking number will sync from Selfnamed through to Shopify and be sent out to your customer automatically so they can track their order. Reviews are the key to building trust with potential customers, and if you can build trust with your store visitors, you've won half the battle into converting them into a paid customer. In order to add reviews to our product page, we'll be using the Judge.me Shopify app. So I'll leave a link in the description to Judge.me. You can get started with Judge.me for completely free, so just hit install and install the app. We can then go through the Judge.me setup guide. Choose your language settings and hit next. Fill out the Judge.me survey, so choose whether you're just starting out or already bringing in revenue, and whether you're a dropshipper or house your own stock, and then hit next. Choose how you plan on getting reviews and hit next. Enable the Judge.me app embed, so just click on this, make sure the Judge.me embed is toggled on and hit save. Then switch back to the Judge.me setup guide in the other tab. Next up, install the Judge.me reviews widget. So just click on this and head to your product page. The reviews widget should install automatically. We can move this below our reviews heading later on in the theme editor. Head back to the Judge.me setup guide in the other tab and click next. From here, we can set up the branding for our store reviews. So we can choose the color of our reviews badge and also upload our logo and click next. You can then decide whether you want to upgrade to the Judge.me Awesome plan with a 15-day free trial to get access to further review features, such as AI review summaries and additional options to customize your review widget. Get friends, family, and your UGC creators from Fiverr to leave a review on your cosmetic store so you have a few reviews to display on your store. It's important that you have at least 5 reviews, as in the next part of the tutorial we'll be adding our UGC videos to these reviews to display as a carousel on our product page. A video carousel adds further social proof to your product page, building trust and converting more customers. So this section can massively help in creating a high converting product page. In order to add a video carousel to our product page, we can start by adding some videos to our product reviews. We can use the UGC content we received from our creators to add these videos to our carousel. You can head to the Judge.me Reviews app and click on Reviews. Choose a review you want to upload a video to, click on the 3 dots and click Edit Review. From here, you can upload a video of your product. Vertical videos work best for this section. You can then repeat this process for at least 2 other reviews. You need a minimum of 3 videos to display the video carousel. Once you have uploaded your video to the reviews, you can click the heart button on these reviews to mark them as a featured review. Don't miss this step, as we'll be displaying these featured reviews in a moment to create our video carousel. Now head to your Shopify theme editor and navigate to your product page. Under our What Our Customers Are Saying rich text heading, we can add our video carousel. So click on Add section, click on Apps and choose the Judge.me video carousel. In the Reviews selection dropdown, choose Featured. You can edit the header text from here as well. Once you're happy with your video carousel, hit Save. Now we've finalized our store and product page and have all the assets needed to start marketing our store, we can move on to the next part of the course, which is setting up meta ads. As you can see, our product page is looking good and ready to go. We have these infographic images in the gallery. followed by some before and after images. We have our video carousel and a GIF showing how to use the product as well. So now we're going to be using all of the content we've received from the creators to bring in traffic to our store using Meta ads. Meta owns Facebook and Instagram, so essentially Meta ads are Facebook and Instagram ads. This is the fastest way to get your cosmetics brand to market and start bringing in traffic and testing your product. So let's get started by creating a Facebook page and Instagram account for our brand and connecting this to our Shopify store. To create a Facebook page for your brand, log into your personal Facebook account. Of course, if you don't have one, create a personal Facebook account. From here, you'll see some tabs on the left-hand side. Scroll through these tabs until you see Pages and click on this. In the top left, you'll see a button that says Create Page. Click on this. You'll be prompted to choose what type of page you want to create. Choose Public Page, then click Get Started. You can start off by giving your Facebook page a name. So just choose the same name as your brand. Then choose a category for your page. So we'll choose Beauty. And finally, add a bio to your page. You can use ChatGPT to write this. Once you've entered this information in, you can click on Create Page. Next up, you can enter in your Shopify store's website and email address. Choose Always Open and click Next. You'll then be prompted to upload a profile picture and cover photo for your Facebook page. You can create both of these using Canva and ChatGPT. The profile photo should be 500 pixels by 500 pixels. Simply add your logo to the center of this. And the cover photo should be 851 pixels by 315 pixels. This can be an image related to your store's products. Upload these and click on Next. You'll be prompted to add a WhatsApp number for your store to your Facebook page. This is optional, so you can skip this if your store doesn't have a WhatsApp number. You'll be prompted to share your Facebook page with your friends. I'm going to skip this step as well. And finally, you'll be asked about your marketing preferences. Choose these and click Done. You'll then be brought to your Facebook page that you just created. So now we've created our Facebook page, we can head to our Meta Business Suite to start setting up our Instagram account and our pixel for our Shopify store. So click on Meta Business Suite. From your Meta Business Suite, the first thing we're going to do is create an Instagram account for our store and connect it to our Meta Business Suite. So click on Connect Instagram, fill out the details and click Continue. You'll be asked whether you want to create an account for a business or a creator. Choose Business. Choose a category, so we'll go for Health and Beauty and click Continue. You'll then see the account creation being completed. Once your Instagram account has been created, you'll see it added to your business portfolio. Click Continue and you'll see Instagram connected. So click Done. You can head to your Instagram account, click on the profile photo and upload your profile photo for your brand. This can be 500 by 500 pixels. Click Edit Profile and you can add a bio to your Instagram profile as well. If you want to add a link to your store, you need to do this on the Instagram mobile app. Then click Submit. Finally, you can search for some competitor brands and follow them so your account shows some activity to prevent it from being banned. Then you can head back to the Meta Business Suite. Now we're ready to connect our Meta Pixel to our Shopify store. The Meta Pixel tracks data on your ad campaigns. It shows you when someone has clicked through to your store, added something to the cart, reached the checkout, and made a purchase. It's super important to set this up so you're able to monitor your ad campaigns correctly and make informed decisions based on this data. To do this, in your Meta Business Suite, click Ads Manager and Account Overview. You'll see no ad account to show, so click Go to Business Settings. Click Ad Accounts and click Add. Then choose Create New Ad Account. Give your ad account a name, choose your time zone and currency, agree to the terms and conditions, and click Create Ad Account. Add your payment information to your ad account. This prevents your ad account from being restricted. Then click Done. Click Connect Assets and we can connect our Instagram account to our ad account. Then click Done. Now click Instagram Accounts, click Connect Assets, choose Other Business Assets and choose your ad account. Then click Add. Next up, click Business Asset Groups. Click Add and create Business Asset Group. Choose separate brands or lines of business and click Next. Name your business asset group after your brand and click Create. Choose the Facebook page, ad account, and Instagram account for your brand and click Add Assets. Choose who has control of the assets and what permissions they have, then click Assign and click Done. Now head to Shopify, click Apps and App Settings, then head to the Shopify App Store. Search for the Facebook and Instagram app and install this app. Once the app has been installed, click Get Started and click Connect Account. Sign into your Facebook account and your business portfolio will come up. Click Connect on your business portfolio. Under Data Sharing, click Enable and choose Maximum. You'll then be prompted to create a new meta pixel, so click Create New. Once the pixel has been created, click Confirm and then click Submit for review. Give Shopify a few moments to confirm the connection to Meta and connect your Meta pixel to your Shopify store. Head back to your Meta Business Suite. Under your Business Asset group, click Assign Asset. Go to Pixels, choose the pixel that you just created and click Done. Now go to Add Accounts, click Connect Assets, go to Pixels, choose your pixel and click Add. Now your pixel is connected to your Shopify store and you're ready to start tracking data with your ad campaigns. In order to set up your first ads campaign, come to your Meta Business Suite and click Ads Manager, then click Campaigns. From here, click on the green Create button. Meta Ads campaigns are broken down into 3 parts. The campaign itself, which is what you want to achieve from your ads, such as brand awareness, leads, sales, and so on. Then you have the ad set, which is who you're going to target, such as the location, the age, and the audience gender. And finally, the ad itself, so the videos and images you'll use to advertise your products. Let's start off by choosing the campaign objective. Because we're a Shopify store, we're going to optimize the campaign for sales and click Continue. Give your campaign a name, so you can name it after the product you're testing. Choose your campaign budget. I recommend to set a daily budget to at least half of the sale price of your product. For example, if you're selling your product for $50, set your daily budget to at least $25. Leave everything else as the default and click Next. Give your ad set a name. As I mentioned, the ad set is who you're going to target. So I'm going to name this UK Broad. I've named it Broad as I'm not going to narrow my audience down by age or gender. For the conversion location, choose Website. For the performance goal, choose Maximize Number of Website Conversions. And for the dataset, choose your Shopify store's pixel we connected previously. Under Conversion Event, choose Purchase. Don't worry if you see an error message when you choose this. That's simply because we haven't tracked any purchase conversions on our store yet. If you scroll down, you can select the location you want to target. So you can click on this and choose the country you want to show your ads to. Leave everything else as the default and click Next. Now we can create our ad. So give your ad a name. I'm going to call this Video Ad 1. Scroll down and choose the Facebook page and Instagram account you created for your brand. Scroll down to where it says Ad Setup and click Manual Upload. Choose Single Image or Video, then scroll down and you'll see Destination. Paste in a link to your store's product page and scroll down to Ad Creative. Click on Set Up Ad Creative and choose whether you want to upload an image or video ad. I'm going to choose Video Ad. Upload your ad asset. So I've uploaded the video I received from the Fiverr creators. Once the video uploads, click Next, and from here you can add some copy to your ad. I used ChatGPT to write this. Make sure you're focusing on a specific benefit of your product. Click Next and toggle off all Advantage Plus creative enhancements, then click Next. Now your ad is ready to go. To add more ads to your campaign, click on the 3 dots next to your first ad and click Duplicate. Duplicate the ad to the same campaign and then rename your new ad. Scroll down and under Ad Creative, click Change Video or Image. Then upload the next ad you want to use in your campaign. Again, you can write the copy for your second ad and then keep clicking Next until your ad is complete as we done before. Repeat this process of duplicating ads until you have all of your ad creatives in your campaign. So I have a total of 4 video ads in my campaign, and now I'm going to click Publish to set the campaign to live. Your ads will say processing and then in review, which means Meta are reviewing your ads before they go live. It could take a few hours for your ads to be reviewed and go live. My ads are now live, so now we can look at the results after a few days of running the campaign. So I have left the ad campaigns running for 4 days now, and we can take a look at the results. So as you can see, I have spent £162.22 on this ad campaign. I did bring in 3 sales over that period of time, bringing in £119.97 in revenue. So we are a little bit in loss total overall for this particular product. But the good thing is that we have achieved our first sales. So we have shown a proof of concept. And now what you can do is you can read the data on your ad campaigns to go and improve your ad campaigns and continue to bring in sales. Next up, I'm going to show you how to read the data on your first Meta Ads campaigns for your Shopify e-commerce and dropshipping stores. I'll be covering the key metrics to look out for, how to set up your Meta Ads columns to monitor the data quickly, and when to kill or scale your Meta Ads depending on how they perform. Firstly, we have CPM. CPM stands for cost per milli or cost per 1,000 impressions. And this is basically how Meta charges you for your ads. So they charge you every time your ad is shown to 1,000 people. The CPM is actually very important because if you can get your ads in front of more people for a cheaper price, that means you have a bigger potential audience that will be interested in your products, click through to your store, and make a purchase. You want to keep your CPMs under $40. This way you can get your ads in front of enough eyeballs to get enough clicks through to your store and make enough sales. So you can see the CPMs on my ad account here. Most of them are very cheap because I'm able to create good ads. You can do some simple maths to work out what a good average CPM is for your own store based on your product margins. Let's look at an example. So if I source a product for $15 and I sell it for $75, that gives me a $60 margin. The average click-through rate on a Meta ad campaign is between 2 and 5%. So let's be conservative and say our click-through rate is 3%. If my CPM is $45, that means it costs me $45 to show my ads to 1,000 people. If 3% of those people click through to my store, that means I get 30 clicks through to my store. So based on this, we can do $45, which is our CPM, divided by 30 clicks, which means I'll pay $1.50 per click. So just stay with me for a moment here. If my store's conversion rate is 2%, which is on the lower side, but as a beginner, it generally will be on the lower side. So that means I need 50 clicks to achieve 1 sale with a 2% conversion rate. So based on my CPM of $45, which achieved 30 clicks, which is $1.50 per click, if I need 50 clicks per sale, we can do 50 times 1.5, which means I'd pay $75 to get enough clicks to achieve a sale. Now, if we go right back to the beginning of this equation, my margin was $60, and based on my CPM of $45, it's going to cost me $75 to achieve a sale with this CPM, which means I'm making a $15 loss on every sale achieved. So you can work this out for your own store. The most important thing is to know your numbers. Now I'll do the same equation as if my CPM was $15. So 1,000 views on my ads is going to cost me $15. If I get 30 clicks at a 3% click-through rate, that means I pay 50 cents per click. If my store's conversion rate is 2%, I need 50 clicks for a sale, which means I pay $25 for 50 clicks or $25 to achieve a sale. If my margin is $60, it means I make $35 profit on every sale. So just based on looking at the CPMs, I can make a good guess as to whether the ads will be profitable or not. Now, don't write off your ads too early based on the CPM. I'd recommend to spend at least the sell price of your product on an ad campaign before you get an accurate measure of your CPMs. So if you're selling a product for $60 on your store, spend $60 on your ad campaign. Of course, if you have super low CPMs, something like $10, that's a really good sign. If you spend the sell price of your product on an ad campaign and your CPMs are super high, like $120, then you can pretty much kill these ads as they're never likely to be profitable. There are many different factors that affect the CPM for your ad campaigns. Firstly is the quality and engagement on your ad creatives. Meta's algorithm penalizes low-quality ads with higher CPMs because they disrupt the user experience. Don't forget Meta's platforms, namely Facebook and Instagram, are content platforms first. So Meta wants you to provide its users with good content. If the content is rubbish, Meta doesn't like that because it gives their users a bad experience, which means they charge you higher to show that content to people in the form of higher CPMs. High engagement on your ads equals lower CPMs, so ads with higher click-through rates, lots of comments, lots of shares, these are the types of ads Meta rewards with low CPMs. So focus on creating high-quality, engaging, interesting, and entertaining ad creatives to lower your CPMs. CPMs are also affected by something called ad fatigue. Ad fatigue is when an audience sees the same ad repeatedly, which causes engagement to drop and CPMs to rise. So be sure to refresh your ad creatives every 1 to 2 weeks. Swap in new, engaging, and unique creatives into your ad campaigns. Scroll-stopping ad creatives that stand out in the feed and encourage immediate interaction like high click-through rates generally get lower CPMs. There are a few other factors that cause high CPMs. Firstly, targeting Tier 1 countries such as the US, UK, Canada, and Australia is a lot more expensive than targeting developing nations because they have higher purchasing power and more competition. Your ad account age can also affect your CPM. New accounts often face higher CPMs until they prove they're not fraudulent or spammy. So the more you spend on your ad campaigns, the lower your CPMs will be over time. Your campaign objectives and conversion event optimization also affect your CPMs. Campaigns optimized for sales generally have higher CPMs than those optimized for traffic or reach. And if your pixel is new or hasn't collected enough data yet, the algorithm will struggle to find buyers, resulting in a higher cost to reach them. So you can test running a traffic or awareness campaign first just to build some data on your pixel. So the key takeaways when it comes to CPMs are to know your numbers, create engaging ad creatives and update them on a consistent basis, and simply expect to pay a little more as a beginner whilst you're building data on your ad account and store pixels. Next up, let's talk about click-through rate. Click-through rate is how many people click through to your store from the number of people that viewed your ad. Average click-through rates for meta ads are between 2 and 5%, so of course you want to be on the higher end of this. The best way to get a good click-through rate is to create interesting, unique, engaging, and educational content around your products. So if you're struggling to do this, go to the Meta Ads library and have a look at some of your competitors' ads for inspiration. So you can see the click-through rates on my ad account are hovering between the 2 and 3% mark, which is pretty decent. Again, if you spend the sale price of your product on a campaign and you're seeing very low click-through rates, for example under 1%, you'll want to go back to the drawing board and start creating some new ad creatives. We've kind of already gone over cost per click earlier when we looked at CPMs. Cost per click is pretty self-explanatory. It's how much it costs you when a person clicks through to your store from your ad. Again, you can do some simple maths to work out what your average cost per click needs to be if you know your store's conversion rate and the margin on your products. So if we're selling a product for $60 and it costs us $15 to fulfill, that gives us a $45 margin. If our store's conversion rate is 3%, that means we need 34 clicks to achieve a sale. If we pay $1 per click, it means we pay $34 to achieve a sale. Meaning if our margin is $45 and we spend $34 to achieve a sale, we make an $11 profit. So a dollar cost per click is just about profitable for us in this scenario. Of course, if you're a beginner and you don't know what your store's conversion rate is yet because you haven't had enough traffic to measure it accurately, just aim to have a cost per click under $1. In most cases, this is pretty good depending on your margins, of course. Cost per click and click-through rate kind of go hand in hand. The higher your click-through rate, the lower your cost per click will be. So if you have a very high cost per click, try to improve your click-through rate by creating better ads. You can see my cost per clicks for this ad account are all under £1, which is pretty decent. Cost per result is how much it costs you to acquire a customer with your ad campaigns. This is a super important metric to track because it basically shows you whether your campaign is profitable or not. Again, this is based on your product's margin. So if I'm selling a product for $60 and it costs me $15 to fulfill, I have a $45 margin. Therefore, if I keep my cost per result under $45, it means I'll be profitable. It's actually quite a simple metric to track, so keep an eye on it. It will fluctuate as you run your ad campaigns, so monitor it over a 7-day period to get an accurate measure of the actual cost per result instead of stressing over it every single day. So you can see some of the cost per results I've achieved on the ad campaigns in this ad account. As you can see, it fluctuates quite a lot as we've tested many different ad campaigns, but the best performing campaign has a very good cost per result. ROAS stands for return on ad spend. This basically means how much you make back in revenue for every dollar you spend on ads. For example, if your ROAS is 1, that means for every $1 you spend on ads, you bring in $1 in sales on your store. Now, of course, when you minus off your cost of goods, your payment processing fees, and your Shopify fees, having a 1 ROAS means you actually make a loss, not break even. You can use this website called breakevenroascalculator.com to work out what your break-even ROAS is. Simply enter in your cost of goods, your shipping costs, transaction costs, and any other costs associated with your store. Enter in the revenue you bring in when you make a sale on the product that you're advertising, and this website will show you what your break-even ROAS is. Now, when you're running your ad campaigns, as long as your ROAS is at break-even or above, then you're not losing money on your ad campaigns. So you can see I've achieved almost a 3 ROAS on my most profitable campaign with this ad account. So now you know which metrics to look out for. Let me show you how to set up the columns in your Meta Ads account so you can track all of these metrics easily. So from your Ads Manager, click on Columns and then click on Customize Columns. From here, we can choose the metrics we want to see. So choose cost per result, results, amount spent should be selected by default, so you can leave this. Choose CPM, clicks all, CPC all, CTR all, add to carts, checkouts initiated, and finally purchase ROAS. You can then reorder the metrics on the right-hand side by dragging and dropping them. Order them like this: delivery, actions, budget, amount spent, results, purchase ROAS, cost per result, CPM, CTR, and CPC. You can leave any default metrics such as impressions and reach, then click Apply. You can now see a snapshot of the most important metrics we've covered within your Ads Manager. I'll show you how to create ads using AI. I'll show you how you can generate realistic footage for your products completely using AI, so you can save huge amounts of money on having to use real creators for your ads, and you can also create large volumes of ads to test in your Meta ad campaigns. Let's start off by looking at the AI ad we'll be creating in today's tutorial.
These are the Explorers from Pure Sole. Barefoot shoes are designed to naturally reconnect your feet to the ground. It's the best way to get all of the benefits of being barefoot while still getting the protection of shoes. The Explorers are a unisex fitness barefoot sneaker, and they've become my favorite shoe for my gym workouts. It's so much easier to keep my feet flat and connected. This means I'm more stable and can lift more weight with better form. Movements feel more natural since my toes are spread wide and gripping the floor. Everything I do feels way more effective since I'm not fighting for balance. The flexibility of the sole means I can do just about anything while wearing them, making them extremely versatile. Hit up their website and free your feet.
In order to create video ads using AI, we'll be using this tool called Creatify. Creatify has a number of different features that allow you to create ads using AI. You can create ads based on a URL, you can create UGC-style avatar ads in different styles, image ads, and unique product shots using B-roll in your ads. The main tool we're going to use to create our ads with AI is the Creatify Ad Clone tool. This tool lets you replicate any of your competitors' ads using AI. So it's super powerful because it takes the guesswork out of finding winning ads. You can just see what's working for your competitors and replicate this. In order to use this tool, you will need to sign up for Creatify's Pro plan, which is $99 per month or $49 per month on the annual plan. However, I think it's worth it for the quality of ads you can create. You can sign up for a month, create as many ads as you can, and then simply cancel your subscription after. Now, we're not sponsored or endorsed by Creatify. It really is the only AI ads platform that I've used that has allowed me to create high quality video ads with AI. And I have tried a few other platforms like Higgsfield, Arcads, Make UGC, and a few more. and I haven't been able to produce good quality video ads the same as I have been able to create with Creatify. So that's why we are going to be using Creatify to create our ads with AI. So from the Creatify pricing page, click on Get Started on the Pro plan. You can create an account with your email address or sign in with your Google account, and then you will need to sign up for a Pro plan, of course. Once you create a Creatify account, you will be brought to the dashboard. From the dashboard, the first thing we can do is set up the product we want to create our ads for. So under Manage Assets, click on Products. From here, click on New Product, and you can create a product in your Creatify account using a link, or you can add the information manually. Because I'm dropshipping, I'm going to add a link from AliExpress to these barefoot shoes, and then click Analyze URL. After a few moments, Creatify will gather all of the product information from the URL, so we'll get the product name, the category, description, and images. You can add your own unique selling points as well. I recommend editing the product name and description, so you can just use ChatGPT to write this. Once you're happy with the product information, click on Create Product. From our dashboard, we can now click Home, and then we can click on Add Clone. We can select the product we want to create our ads for, and then we need to upload an image or video of the ad we want to clone. So come over to the Meta Ads library, and we can search for a competitor ad we want to clone. Under Select Country, choose All. Under the Ad Category dropdown, choose All Ads, and then search for the name of your competitor. We can then see all of the ads they're running. Choose an active ad that has been running for at least a month, as this is more likely to be bringing in sales. Click on See Details for the ad, and in the Chrome browser, right-click and choose Inspect on the video ad you want to clone. You'll then see a URL for the video. Copy this URL and open it in a new tab, and then you'll see the video, and you can click on the 3 dots and download the ad. You can then come back into Creatify and upload this ad, and once it's finished uploading, you can click Generate Cloned Ad. Creatify will then begin creating your ad. So in Projects in your dashboard, you'll see the ad is being generated. It can take around 30 minutes for your ad to be created. So we'll come back to this in a moment and see what Creatify has made. So we can see this is the ad they've generated. The product shots look really good. However, the captions, music, and voiceover still need a bit of work. So we can edit this directly in the Creatify video editor. So just click on Edit. Firstly, I'm going to delete all of the captions. So click on a scene and click Edit Scene. You'll see a bar that says HTML in the timeline. Just delete this to delete the captions on a scene. Next up, we're going to delete the music on the ad. So just select the music and hit Delete. We're also going to write our own script for the ad and upload our own voiceover. So I've written my script based on my competitor's script and tweaked it a little bit. But you can of course write your own script for your ad and use a tool like ChatGPT to do this. To create a voiceover for our ad, we can use a tool called 11 Labs. 11 Labs lets you create realistic voiceovers using AI, and the best part is you can get started for completely free. From the 11 Labs homepage, click on Sign Up, and then you can sign up with a Google account or use your email. Once you've signed up for an account, from the 11 Labs dashboard, click on Text to Speech. From here, you can paste in the script of your voiceover ad. If you click on Voice on the right, you can search for different voices that you can test out. So pick an appropriate voice for your audience. When you find a voice that you're happy with, you can click on this, and now you can hit Generate Speech to generate your voiceover. You can use the sliders to edit the style of your voiceover. So you can make it faster, more stable, and make the style of speech more similar or exaggerated. Regenerate the voiceover a few times if need be. Just make sure it has good pacing, isn't too slow, and sounds natural and realistic. Once you're happy with it, you can click Download to download your voiceover. Now we have our voiceover from 11 Labs, we can delete all of the other voiceovers from the Creatify editor. In order to upload our voiceover, in the timeline you'll see Add Music. Click on this, and then in the top left, click on Upload and select your 11 Labs voiceover file. Now we can simply rearrange the footage in our timeline to match our voiceover. Delete any footage that looks a little bit odd. For example, Creatify have generated this footage of a woman talking whilst holding the weights. I think it just looks a little bit odd, so I'm going to delete it. Just make sure what's being said in the script matches what's being shown on the screen. For example, in my script it says I can lift more weight with better form, and I have this clip of weights being lifted. Once you're happy with your ad, you can hit render in the top right corner, save your project, and then click render video. Creatify will then generate your final video, and once it's ready, you can click on the three dots and click download to download your video ad ready for your ad campaigns. To create high converting meta image ads, I firstly recommend looking at the ads of your competitors. You can go to the meta ads library and search for one of your competitors by typing in their brand name into the search bar. Under country, choose all, and under ad category, choose all ads and hit enter. You'll then see all of the ads your competitors are running. So scroll through and find any image ads that they're running. We're going to use these as inspiration for creating our own image ads. You generally want to look for active ads that have been running for at least 2 weeks, as these are ads that are more likely to be bringing in sales. Click on See Ad Details of an ad you want to use as inspiration for your own image ads, and in Google Chrome, you can right-click on the ad and click Inspect Element. In the Inspect tools, you'll see a link to the image in the ad. Copy this link and open it in a new tab. You can now right-click on the image and save this to use when creating your own image ads later on. Next up, you want to get some images of your product to use in your image ads. So as a dropshipper, I'm going to download some product images from AliExpress. Once you've got your ad inspiration and product images, we can head to ChatGPT and start building our image ad. Firstly, I'm going to remove any text from my competitor's ad so I can prompt ChatGPT to create a similar image. So I'm going to upload this image and say remove any text and overlays on this image, only keep the background image. Now ChatGPT has removed the text from my competitor's ad. I can prompt it to create a similar ad for my own product. So I'm going to download this image with the text removed from ChatGPT and re-upload it to ChatGPT along with my product images for my next prompt. I'm now going to prompt ChatGPT and say, can you recreate the image attached of someone sitting and have them sitting in a more green/forest area? They should be wearing the blue shoes attached and be a slightly older woman in her late 50s. The image should be 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. Then I can hit go. ChatGPT will then generate the image with your product. So as you can see, it has generated the image exactly as I've asked it, with the woman wearing the blue shoes. So download this image and let's go to Canva to edit the image to create our image ad. From Canva, create a custom size canvas and make it 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. If the ad you're using as inspiration is a square ad, you can make it 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. Both vertical and square image ads work on Meta. From here, drag your image into Canva and resize it to fit the canvas. We can then drag in our competitor image ad, make it slightly transparent, and start to add our own elements to the image to replicate our competitor's ad. So I'm just adding some text boxes to my image here in the exact same spots as the competitor ad. You can of course select fonts and colors that match the branding of your store. Once you're happy with your ad, you can download this from Canva ready to use in your Meta ad campaigns. So here is a side-by-side comparison of my competitor's ad and the ad I just created. I'd argue that mine looks even better. So now I've shown you the free tools you can use to create image ads. Next up, I'll show you a paid tool you can use to create image ads that will allow you to create more unique image ads without having to use your competitors as inspiration. I use this tool called Creative OS to create huge amounts of image ads, allowing me to test lots of variations. Creative OS creates image ad templates based on image ads that are actually converting for big brands. Creative OS does offer a 3-day free trial, so from the homepage, click on Pricing and then click on Start Your Free Trial. You can create an account with your Google account or email address. So I'm going to sign in with my Google account. You'll then be brought to your Creative OS dashboard. From here, you can browse the ad templates by clicking on Browse Templates. There are hundreds of high-converting image ad templates for every niche. You can also search for specific templates related to your niche. So if I type in shoe in the search bar, then I can click on see all under ad templates to see all of the image ad templates for shoe related products. When you find an image ad template you like the look of, click on edit and you'll be brought to the Creative OS image editor. On the top page, you'll see the original ad template, and on the second page, you'll see the template you can edit. We can start off by dragging an image of our product into the editor. We can use the background remover tool to remove the background from our product image. We can then drag the product image into the image placeholder section to replace the original image in the template with the image of our product. We can also drag an image of our logo into the template and replace the logo placeholder. Make sure your logo is a PNG image with a transparent background. Next up, we can edit the colors of the template. You can ask ChatGPT for a color scheme for your ad. So ChatGPT has recommended this blue contrast color, which I have applied to the background. I think it looks really good. I've also edited some of the other elements, such as the text box at the top and the text within these 4 text boxes to fit my color scheme. Try to use colors that match the branding of your store. You can also edit the fonts, so again choose fonts that match the branding of your store. Finally, you can edit the text within the ad itself. So I've changed where it says wide toe box to non-slip, and where it says featherlight, I've changed this to breathable. Once you're happy with your image ad, click on export and export the ad as a PNG. So here is the original image ad, and this is the image ad I've been able to create based on the template. Once again, I'd argue that the ad we've created is more eye-catching. Next up, we're going to cover how you should structure your meta ad campaigns when testing a product. Now, let's start from the beginning. The most important thing for your meta ad structure is your ad creative, the videos and the images that you're going to use to actually market your product. Now, we have 2 things that create your ad creative. You have the marketing angle and you have the customer avatar. When you combine these create your ad creative. So let me go over what these actually mean. The marketing angle is the reason someone would want to buy the product. So it focuses on the problem, it focuses on the main benefit or outcome that your product delivers. Right, so I've got some examples here. If you're selling barefoot shoes, the main marketing angle could be to relieve foot pain. The main marketing angle could be to improve balance, get better grip on the ground, strengthen your feet naturally. Right? Those are marketing angles if you're selling barefoot shoes. If you're selling something like a red light therapy hairbrush, the main marketing angle could be to grow thicker hair. It could be to reduce hair shedding, improve scalp health, stimulate your hair follicles. So basically think of the angle as the benefit you're selling, the tangible outcome that your customer is going to receive when they buy your product. So that's what the marketing angle is. Next up, you have the customer avatar. The customer avatar is who is going to benefit from that outcome of your product, right? So who is the main person that your product's benefit is going to matter most? So it's the type of person that's most likely to care about the marketing angle of the product. So again, we can look at some examples. If we have a look at barefoot shoes, some customer avatars for barefoot shoes could be over 60s in general. They've got foot pain, you're trying to relieve their foot pain. It could be people with arthritis, it could be hikers, it could be gardeners, it could be people with plantar fasciitis. Those are some customer avatars for barefoot shoes. If we have a look at a red light therapy hairbrush, some customer avatars could be women going through the menopause. It could be pregnant women. It could be women with thinning hair. It could be women recovering from hair loss. So maybe they've had some long-term illness, caused them to lose their hair, and now they're recovering from hair loss. So those are some customer avatars for a red light therapy hairbrush. So like I say, think of the avatar as the person who's experiencing the problem. So the marketing angle is the solution that your product provides, and the customer avatar is the person experiencing the problem. So when you combine these, that is your ad creative. So your ad creative is the intersection between the angle and the avatar. You combine the marketing angle and the customer avatar, and you have your ad creative. So let's look at some examples. Again, you could create an ad creative for barefoot shoes, relieve foot pain for the over 60s. That's your ad creative. Relieve foot pain for gardeners. That's your ad creative. Get better grip as a hiker. That's your ad creative. For a red light therapy hairbrush, grow thicker hair during the menopause. That's your ad creative. Reduce dry scalp during pregnancy. That's your ad creative. So the reason that this is so important is because different people buy the same product for different reasons, right? So you've got one product that you're selling, but you've got loads of different customers and they might be buying the product for different reasons. And you need to try and find out which of those customer avatars, which of those audiences is most likely to buy the product so you can capitalize them and make more sales. The reason that you start with the ad creative is because Meta doesn't rely heavily on interest targeting anymore. You're not going into Meta and telling it who to target, right? Meta's AI scans your ad creatives, so it will scan the visuals, it will scan the captions, the voiceovers, the text in the ads, and it will determine who the ad should be shown to. So, for example, if you make an ad that clearly says in the ad, hair loss during menopause, Meta immediately understands that the audience is likely to be women aged 45 and over, interested in hair care, maybe they're experiencing hair thinning. So instead of telling Meta who the audience is, you show Meta who the audience is through your ad creatives. When it comes to your Meta ad structure, the first place you should start is your ad creatives. That's why the angles and avatars come first, because the creative itself becomes the targeting. That's how you target the audience that you want to target from your ad creative. Now, why does this matter the most as a Shopify store owner or a Shopify dropshipper? Well, if you're creating generic ads for your product, Meta has no clear signal for who should see the ad. You're creating ads for barefoot shoes, and all you say is, try these barefoot shoes, they help to reduce pain. Meta doesn't know who to show the ads to, right? So who's the ad for? There's no specific type of audience that ad is for. But if the ad says foot pain after gardening all day, Meta knows that the ad is for a gardening audience. It's going to be for an older demographic. It's going to be for outdoor interests. So the Meta algorithm can match the ad to the right buyers, right? And if you show your ad to the right audience, you have a higher chance of making sales. So now we've gone over that. Let's have a look at the actual campaign structure, right? So where do you start? Well, the first thing is step one, pick one marketing angle, right? Just start with one marketing angle. So think about your product and think about what is the strongest marketing angle for your product. What is the main problem that your product solves? So if we have a look at a red light therapy hairbrush, the main problem that the product solves is going to be grow thicker hair. Something like reducing itchy scalp is a big problem, but growing thicker hair is a bigger problem. Most people want to grow thicker hair, regardless, in general, most people want to grow thicker hair. People with itchy scalp are going to be a slightly smaller audience, right? So pick the marketing angle that's the biggest problem in general. Now, you could do some research on ChatGPT to find that out, or just use your common sense. The next thing you could do is step two. So you've picked your marketing angle, you've picked the strongest problem or benefit of your product. Step two is to pick 2 or 3 customer avatars. So for example, the red light therapy hairbrush, we've chosen our marketing angle, which is going to be grow thicker hair. Now we're going to pick 2 or 3 customer avatars, right? So we're going to choose women going through menopause. That's one avatar. We're going to choose pregnant women. And we're going to go for a more general avatar, which is women with thinning hair, right? So step one, pick a marketing angle. Step two, pick 2 or 3 customer avatars. Step 3 is to create 3 to 4 ad creatives per avatar. So if you pick 3 avatars, you're going to create 9 to 12 ad creatives. So you could have menopause ad 1, menopause ad 2, menopause ad 3, and they're all about growing thicker hair for women going through menopause. And then our second avatar is going to be pregnant women. So we're going to have pregnancy ad 1, pregnancy ad 2, pregnancy ad 3, pregnancy ad 4. And that's going to be about growing thicker hair as a pregnant woman. Then we've got a batch of ads, okay, to start with. If your product doesn't have a wide variety of people that you can target, just start with 2 custom avatars. So you've got 1 marketing angle, 2 custom avatars, and you're going to create 3 to 4 ads for each avatar. So you'd have around 6 to 8 ads at least to start. So say you've got 6 ads at a minimum. Okay, you've picked 2 customer avatars and you've created 3 ads for each avatar. So you have 6 ads. Next up, when you go to create your campaign in your ad set, you are going to choose broad targeting. So you're not going to choose any interests. You're not going to change the demographics. You're not going to change the age. You're not going to change the gender. The reason that you don't change the gender, you might think for something like a red light therapy hairbrush for women, you might think that you'd only want to target women. A lot of people purchase products as gifts, or a husband might purchase it for his wife, or they might send it to their wife, right? So they'll share an ad. And when you get more interactions on your ads, it actually helps to improve your ad. So just leave the targeting broad, okay? So don't change the gender, don't change the age, don't add any interests. Just let Meta's AI read the ad creatives and determine the audience. So you're going to leave all of your targeting completely broad within your ad set. So step 4, you're going to use broad targeting. Step 5, you're going to use a CBO campaign. CBO stands for Campaign Budget Optimization. And basically what it means is you set your daily budget at the campaign level rather than the ad set level. When you set your budget at the campaign level, it means you give Meta the power to decide where your budget is spent. So if you have your 6 ad creatives, you're giving Meta the power to spend the budget on those 6 ad creatives where it best sees fit, right? So you're giving Meta maximum flexibility to allocate the budget. The reason that you want to do this is because Meta will automatically push spend towards the ads that are most likely to generate conversions. Okay, so Meta knows what works. Meta's algorithm is so advanced, Meta's AI has so much data, it knows which ad is most likely to achieve sales, right? So set your budget at the campaign level, and then you're going to put your 6 ad creatives in one ad set, and you're just going to let Meta decide which of those ad creatives is going to perform the best. If some ads don't get any spend or very, very little spend, that's fine. That's totally normal. Just leave them on. That's how the structure works in 2026, right? It just means that the algorithm, Meta's algorithm, prefers the other creatives. If you have 6 ad creatives or 8 ad creatives in your campaign, in your ad set, and Meta starts spending on one and all of the others get very low ad spend, it means Meta prefers that ad creative. It's spending on that ad creative for a reason, because it thinks it's going to get the most conversions. Now, when should you kill an ad? So let's say you've got 8 ads in an ad set and Meta's spending on one ad, right? Is allocating most of the budget towards one ad. When should you kill that ad? Personally, this is the strategy I use. I will spend the product sell price on an ad, and if I see that it's performing really badly, then I'll turn it off, and then I'll leave all of the other ads on, and we'll get into in a moment about adding new ads into the campaign. Now, what do I mean by product sell price? If you're selling your product for $50 and you spend $50 on one ad creative, right, and it's performing really badly, the CPMs are really high, the click-through rate is really low, you're not getting any add to carts, you're not getting any checkouts, there are no good signs for that ad creative. It's just performing really poorly. Then you can kill it. Just turn it off, toggle it off. The reason that you want to spend at least the product sell price on an ad creative before you turn it off is because you're giving Meta enough money to achieve a break-even ROAS. Okay, so if you're selling your product for $50 and you spend $50 on an ad creative, you're basically giving Meta enough money for a 1-for-1 ROAS. You spend $50, if you achieve one sale, you bring in $50 in revenue. Okay, so like I say, look at the metrics. We have a full tutorial and a full guide on reading the metrics for Meta ads, so you can check that out as well. I'll leave that linked in the description. So that's when to kill an ad. When should you scale an ad? If an ad campaign is profitable, then you can go to the daily budget. So go to the campaign level, go to the daily budget, and you can just increase the campaign budget 10% every 3 to 5 days. You don't want to increase it too quickly because you just need to let Meta stabilize for a few days, right? And when I say increase it 10%, you just round it up, okay? You don't need to be super pedantic. So if you're on $50 per day, you can go to 55. From 55 to increase 10%, you could just go to 60, right? To increase from $60, if you want to go 10%, you're not going to go to 66, just go to 70, okay? Just round it up. As you start to scale more, so if you start to bring in more sales and your ads are more profitable, you can scale a little bit more aggressively. You could scale by 20%, you could scale by 30% every 3 to 5 days. That's all you need to do when it comes to scaling. If your ads are profitable, just increase the budgets every 3 to 5 days. Now, how about testing new angles and avatars? Because I know you're probably thinking, I've tested some ads, they haven't worked. What do I do now, right? You've turned off all the ads, none of them have worked. Or some of them are performing poorly, some of them are average, bringing a few sales at break even. What do I do now? You need to keep testing new ads, right? A lot of people just give up on a product. It's not always about the product. Now, there are factors that come into this. Of course, if you're getting a lot of clicks and you're not getting any sales, then it's something to do with your store. So maybe you've got poor design, you're not building trust, it doesn't look professional, store loads slow, product price is too high for the market. There are a number of different things that go into the store design. Again, we have a full tutorial on how to create a high converting store. But how do you actually test more ad creatives? And like I say, don't give up on the product too early. It could be you need to test some new marketing angles, you need to test some new you need to test some new avatars, you need to test some new ad creative formats. So what you want to do is, within your campaign, create a new ad set for all of the new ads that you test. So every time that you test a new angle and avatar combination, then you're going to create a new ad set and put a bunch of new ads in that ad set. Again, we'll go back to the red light therapy hairbrush. Now we want to test a new angle and a new avatar. So this time we're going to test improving scalp health for pregnant women. We're going to create a new ad set and we're going to put our 4 or 5 ad creatives in that ad set. Again, Meta will still allocate the spend, right? So don't worry too much if your new ad creatives that you're testing don't get a lot of spend right away. It can sometimes take a week for Meta to start to serve that ad creative that it thinks is going to perform to the right audience. So you really need to trust Meta. Okay, they've tried to make the platform as easy as possible for advertisers to use. They want to make it super simple. That's why they just want you to have one campaign and you're just putting all of your creatives in there and you're giving Meta all of the power with regard to where to spend the budget. Okay, Meta just wants to make it super simple and let the algorithm and let AI do all of the heavy lifting. So you're just going to create new ad sets for new avatar and angle combinations, and you're just going to test those. Once you find an angle and an avatar that's working, so you might need to test quite a lot of them. You need to be testing regularly. So don't just come up with 4 ad creatives and leave it. You need to be testing and pumping out new creatives all the time. So try to create new ad creatives every day if you can, for different avatars, for different angles, different ad formats. So an ad format could be, we have a full guide on different ad formats. So again, I'll leave that linked in the description, but different ad formats could be UGC. You could have a review ad. You could have a voiceover ad. You could have a B-roll ad just with music. You could have an image ad. So those are ad creative formats. You're testing different ad formats also for the angles and the avatars. So you need to be pumping out new ad creatives all the time. Once you find an marketing angle and a customer avatar that's working, so we'll go back to the red light therapy hairbrush. Let's say growing thicker hair for women going through menopause. Let's say one of those ads starts to do well and starts to achieve sales consistently and profitably. All you're going to then do is double down on creating more ad creatives for that angle and for that avatar. So just create more content, pump out more content, and keep putting those into the ad set for growing thicker hair for menopause. Just keep putting those into that ad set. Then you know this is the winning angle and the winning avatar. And then you're just going to create more ads for that angle and for that avatar. And that will help you to scale your campaigns and bring in more sales, because you know this is the winning angle, this is the winning avatar, this is what works, this is what resonates for my product. So you're just going to double down on that audience and then create more ad creatives, test a variety of ad creatives for that angle and for that avatar. So like I say, create more UGC ads, create more image ads, create more review ads. You can do some B-roll ads, test loads of different ad creative formats. And that's all you then need to do. You just create more ad creatives for the angle and the avatar that's working, double down on it, and then you scale from there by increasing your budgets on the campaign. And that's basically it. Next up, I'm going to show you how to finally launch your first Meta Ads campaign. So let's dive into the Meta Ads Manager and start launching your first campaign. When you create an ad campaign within Meta, you have 3 pillars. You have the campaign itself, then the ad set, and then the ads. Let me break down what each pillar is. Firstly, you have the campaign itself. This is where you'll choose your campaign objective. There are a number of different campaign objectives you can choose from. You have awareness, traffic, engagement, and a few others, but the one you want to optimize for as a Shopify store owner is sales. So just think of your campaign as what you want to achieve. In our instance, we want to achieve more sales on our store. One other thing to mention is that we only want to launch one product per campaign. So don't run ads to various different products within one campaign. Every time you want to test a new product, you'll launch a new campaign for that product. Next up, you have the ad set. Think of the ad set as who you're going to target. So within your ad set, you can choose which country you want to run your ads to, and you can choose your audience demographics such as their age and gender. And then you have the ad itself. So this is going to be the image or video you use to advertise your products. You're going to want to have a number of different ads to use in your first ad campaign. We have full tutorials on creating different types of ad formats for your products, so I'll leave those linked in the description. Now you understand how meta ad campaigns are structured, let's get into setting up your first ads campaign. But before we move on, I want to quickly mention a big mistake a lot of beginners make when launching their first ad campaigns, and that is not optimizing your Shopify store for sales. You can bring in huge amounts of traffic from your ad campaigns, but if your store isn't optimized for sales, you'll be wasting your money. An easy way to improve your store's conversion rate is by utilizing reviews. Reviews help build trust and social proof on your Shopify store, convincing more visitors to make a purchase. If you're looking to add reviews to your Shopify store, we use Judge.me. It's a free Shopify reviews app that quickly lets you import and display reviews. And if you're a dropshipper, you can import reviews directly from AliExpress to your Shopify store. So I'll leave a link in the description to Judge.me and you can check it out for yourself. We also have a full tutorial on how to create a high converting store, so again, I'll leave that linked in the description. From your Meta Ads Manager, we can begin setting up our first campaign. So click on Create under Campaigns. You'll be prompted to choose a campaign objective. So as we mentioned earlier, we want to optimize for sales. So we're going to choose sales and hit continue. You can give your campaign a name. So as we're testing one product per campaign, we can name our campaign after our product and then give the campaign name a description based on whether we're testing the product or scaling it. So we're going to call this campaign Pupmaster Pro Testing Campaign. Next up, you have campaign budget versus ad set budget. Campaign budget versus ad set budget is basically how you decide to spend your budget on your ads. If you choose campaign budget, it means you give Meta the power to spend your budget on the ads it thinks will have the best chance of performing. So Meta will basically allocate your daily budget across your ads and spend it on the ads it thinks has the highest chance of achieving sales. When you're first starting out, it's best to choose campaign budget as Meta's AI is so advanced, it can use its data to figure out which one of your ads will have the best chance of achieving sales. When you start to bring in some consistent sales with the product and you want to test larger volumes of ads or segment your campaigns into different audiences or marketing angles, you can then use ad set budget. So we're going to choose campaign budget and then we can choose the daily budget for our ad campaign. I know you're probably thinking, how long should I run my ad campaign for? It isn't really about how many days you run the campaign. It's about how much you spend on a campaign and then reading the data based on that ad spend to see what's working and where you can improve after reading your ad metrics. So for example, you could set your daily budget to $10 per day and run the campaign for 7 days, which would be $70 in ad spend. Or you could just spend $70 on the first day. You're going to collect the same data. It's just going to take you 6 days longer to collect in the first scenario. I recommend spending 2 to 3 times of your product's sell price on a testing campaign and then reading the ad data to see where you can improve. Of course, if the ads are profitable after these first 2 days, you can just continue running the campaigns. So if you're selling your product for $40, you can set your daily budget to $40 and then run the campaign for 3 days. If you're selling your product for $80, you can set your budget to $80 and perhaps you want to be a bit more conservative with your budget and run it for 2 days as you're going to be spending slightly more. So I'm selling my product for £45, so I'm going to set my daily budget to £50. You can leave everything else under the campaign tab as default and click next. Now we're in the ad set level. Again, we can give our ad set a name. Because the ad set is who we're targeting, we can name it after this. I recommend running a broad targeting campaign as your first campaign, and you can simply narrow it down by the countries you want to target. Broad targeting basically means we don't change any of the demographics or add any interest targeting. We simply choose the country and leave everything else as the default. The reason you want to run a broad campaign is because Meta's AI has so much data, it can figure out which audience to show your ads to based on the ad creative itself. So when you create your ad creatives, which are the videos and images you're going to use for your ads, be sure to be very specific with the type of audience and marketing angle you want to target within the ads themselves. So if you're selling barefoot shoes, for example, don't make ads just listing the benefits of barefoot shoes. Your ad should be relieve foot pain for gardeners or improve foot pain for nurses. Think specific pain points for specific audiences. Meta can understand who your ads should be served to simply by scraping the content in your ads. So I'm going to name this ad set Broad UK. Under conversion location, choose website. Under performance goal, choose maximize number of conversions. Under dataset, choose your Shopify store's pixel. And under conversion event, choose purchases. Don't worry if you see a message saying you haven't received any activity from the conversion you've selected. This is completely fine. Scroll down to the budget and schedule section. From here, you can choose when you want your ads to start. If you leave this, your ads will be scheduled to start as soon as they've been reviewed by Meta. Or you can choose a specific time you want to start running your ad campaigns. This isn't massively important, but a lot of people choose to start their campaigns from midnight the next day, so they know the exact day they started their campaign. Now scroll down to the audience section. From here, you can choose the target location for your ads. Click on the pencil icon and you can add or remove locations and countries. If you click on Show Settings within the audience section, you can also choose specific age and gender demographics, as well as add specific interests and behaviors. As I mentioned earlier, leave all of this as default, as we'll be running a broad targeting campaign and letting Meta's AI optimize the rest. Under Ads Transparency and Placements, you can leave everything else as the default. In the bottom right corner, you can click on Show Estimated Audience, and you'll see the potential audience size your ads will be shown to. Don't worry if you see a huge number. It's better for Meta to have a bigger potential audience to show your ads to, rather than a more narrow one, as sometimes Meta can struggle to serve your ads if the potential audience size is too small. Now we can click on Next. From here, we can upload our actual ad. Start off by giving your ad a name. Name your ad something that makes it easy to identify, so later when you're reading your ad metrics, you know which of your ads are performing the best. So I'm going to call this Video Ad 1 Mum UGC. You can choose the Facebook page and Instagram account for your store, as these are the accounts you'll be running the ads from, and then scroll down to Ad Setup. Leave the media setup as manual upload and format as single image or video, then scroll down to Destination. The destination is where you want to send the traffic from your ads. So choose Website, and within Website URL, add the link to your product page. Make sure to send your traffic to the product page of the product you're advertising so the customers can purchase right away. Don't send them to the home page of your store, as you're adding additional steps to get your traffic to make a purchase. You can click on Use Display Link and enter a shorter link if you want to, just to make the URL in your ad look a bit tidier. Scroll down to Add Creative and click on the Setup Creative dropdown. Choose whether you want to upload an image or video ad. So I'm going to choose video. You'll then be brought to the Creative Setup section. Leave everything as the default except under the tab that says Apply Website Highlights, toggle this off. This takes assets directly from your website, but because we're uploading our own ad creatives, we don't need this. You can leave your product catalog on and click Next. From here, you can upload your ad. So click Upload in the right corner and choose the ad you want to upload. Once it's finished uploading, click Next. You'll then be prompted to add some copy to your ad. From here, you can add 3 sections. We have primary text, a headline, and a description. The primary text is the most important. It appears above the image or video in the feed. The primary text is your main story or hook and helps to stop people scrolling depending on which platform they're viewing your ad on. For most e-commerce products, a short, punchy primary text works best. For certain products, long-form copy as the primary text can work, but really you want to get to the point and focus on calling out your main target audience or marketing angle for your product. So I'm just going to say, got a young golfer at home, this might be the one gift they actually use. You can bring the copy to life by adding relevant emojis. I use ChatGPT to help me write the copy for the ad. Next up, we have the headline. The headline appears as bold text just above your call to action. Your headline should be a short one-liner that reinforces the core benefit of your product. So I'm just going to say the perfect gift for young golfers. Finally, we have the description. This appears as small grey text under the headline, but it isn't visible on every placement or device. This should be used to add some minor supporting information. So I'm just going to add 30-day money-back guarantee. For the call to action, choose Shop Now. Meta's AI will also generate some additional pieces of copy for the primary text and headlines. Leave these on, as this gives Meta more variety when testing your ads and can help them perform better. Then click Next. Next up, you'll see Advantage Plus enhancements. You can turn all of these off except for text improvements, which is the AI copy we just left on. Then click Next. Now under the ad preview, you can see what your ads will look like on different placements and devices across Meta. If you're happy with your ads, you can click Publish to publish your campaign. Your campaign will now go into a review, and once Meta have reviewed and approved it, it will be scheduled to go live at the time you scheduled it to go live. Now currently, we've only added one ad to our campaign. So you can come back into your ads manager, choose your campaign and click Edit. Click on your ad and then click the three dots and click Duplicate. You can rename this ad for the next ad you plan on uploading. So I'm going to call this Video Ad 2 Wife Voiceover. Then scroll down to Ad Creative, click on the bin icon to delete the original ad creative, click on Add Media and choose Image or Video Ad, and then upload your next ad creative. Again, you can add the copy for your next ad, make it relevant to the target marketing angle or audience for this ad, and then go through the same setup process as the previous ad. You can then click Publish again and repeat this process as many times as you need to upload your additional ads. As I say, once you've done this, your ads will go into review, and once Meta reviews and approves them, your ad campaigns will begin running. Next up, let's look at how to know when you should kill or scale your ads campaign based on the metrics and data. The first thing you are going to want to do is create a spreadsheet with a snapshot of all of the numbers of the campaign. So you can create a spreadsheet like this with the dates that you've been running your ads campaign, how much revenue you brought in, how much you spent on ads, your cost of goods on the product, your payment processor fees and Shopify fees. So you can just do a quick Google of these to go and add these to your spreadsheet. And then you will see the profit and loss for each day. So you can just create a formula where you get your revenue minus your ad spend, minus your cost of goods, minus your fees, which will be the profit and loss for the day on the ad campaign. And then you've got your total profit and loss. So we calculate all of these days to create our total profit and loss. And you can basically set yourself a stop loss for how much you're willing to lose when testing a product. That's totally up to you. That's down to your own budget. I usually will test a product up to $250. If I make a $250 total loss, then I need to change something, whether that's testing new ads or if I need to go and test a completely new product. So like I said, that's totally up to you. Now, you're also probably thinking, how long should I run the campaign? How many days should I run the campaign? It's not about how many days you run the campaign, it's how much you spend on the campaign. I recommend spending 2 to 3 times the sell price of your product on a campaign. So if you're selling a product for $50, you're going to spend $150 on the campaign, 3 times the sell price of your product. If you're selling a product for $80, maybe you only want to spend 2 times the sell price of the product, $160. So again, that's up to you how much you're willing to spend, but you're going to want to spend at least 2 to 3 times of the sell price of the product. And the reason that you do this is because you're giving the ads enough money to collect enough data and to give you a 1-for-1 ROAS. So if you're selling your product for $50 and you spend $50 on the campaign, you've given your ads campaign enough money to achieve a 1-for-1. If you spend $50 on the campaign and you make 1 sale, you bring back $50 in revenue. So like I say, you're going to want to spend 2 to 3 times of the sale price of the product for that reason. And that's why we don't measure it on how many days we run the campaign, because you could set your campaign to $10 per day and you could run it for 7 days. You're going to spend $70 on the campaign, or you could just spend $70 on the first day. You're going to get the exact same data back. So that's why it's better to just spend the money quicker so you can get the data quicker and make quicker decisions for your store. So we've got two different examples here. We've got store example 1. I'm going to go over a campaign that we ran where we killed the product. And then I'm going to go over a campaign that we ran where we scaled the product. And then you can see the difference. But it's basically the same thing. This is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go into your store every day, track the revenue, the ad spend, and the cost of goods, and see the profit and loss each day. So let's go for the first day of this particular product. We'll come into the store. We can see on the 17th of November last year, we brought in 0 in revenue. Then we can come to the ads manager. We're going to come to the 17th of November. You can see we spent £29.25. So we can come in here and we're going to put £29.25. Now, our cost of goods that day was nothing because we didn't fulfill any orders. There weren't any orders that came in, so we didn't fulfill any. We'll come to the second day. We're going to come to the 18th and we'll hit apply. You can see the second day we brought in $44.99 in revenue. So we can come over here. We're going to do $44.99. And we'll come back over here. We'll come to the 18th. And you can see we spent $47.81 on ads. Okay, so we're going to put in here $47.81. Our cost of goods on this product was around £18. So we're going to put in $17.99 in here. Okay, so you can see so for our first 2 days, we're already in loss, right? Our total loss is £54. We're going to keep going with this. So like I said, I want to give you a live snapshot of each product. We can come back here. We're going to go to the 19th now. And you should be doing this for your own products. Track the numbers rigorously. This is how you can tell whether you should be scaling a product or not. So we brought in $44.99 again on this day. $44.99. And we can come back to our ads manager. We'll come to the 19th again. And we can see we spent $55.53 on this day. So we'll come back $55.53. And again, we fulfilled one product, $17.99. So we're already kind of getting into loss now. But the reason that I continue to run a product, even if it's getting into loss, is because we are making sales. There will always be losses in the beginning when you first start running a campaign. So that's why I set myself a stop loss of $250. As long as I don't go too far into the loss, I will keep running the campaign. What you want to do is you want to ride the wave of your ad campaign. There will be some days where you make profit. There'll be some days where you make loss. There'll be some days where you make profit, some days where you make loss. If you can keep riding that wave of profit and loss without going too deep into loss, then what you'll be doing is you'll be collecting data with your ads campaign on your pixel, and you'll also be able to look at the data on your particular ads. So you'll be able to look at the CPM, you'll be able to look at the cost per click, you'll be able to look at the click-through rate, and you can get a better idea of whether the ads are performing well or not and what you need to change. So for example, if your click-through rate is very low, you need to change something on your ads. If your CPMs are high, again, you need to change something on your ads. Or perhaps you're just making, some days you're in profit, some days you're in loss, some days you're in profit, some days you're in loss. That just means that your pixel doesn't have enough data and Meta is still trying to figure out who to show your ads to. So eventually you can gain momentum. If you're going through a phase with your ad campaign where some days you're profit, some days you're loss, some days you're profit, some days you're loss, you're collecting data. You're still making sales and Meta is figuring out who to show your ads to. So just see it as you're paying for the data. Even if you're a little bit in loss, you're paying for the data. So it's worth it in the long term. Because Meta campaigns have something called the learning phase. And that's basically where you need to achieve 50 conversions in a 7-day period for it to be fully optimized. So if you get 50 sales in a 7-day period, you will see that your ad campaigns will start to improve. So as I say, as long as you don't go too deep into loss, if you can get those 50 sales within a 7-day period, you'll go through the learning phase and then Meta will be able to find customers easier for you. So let's continue on with this. We'll go to the 20th. So we're going to come back to our store and we will come to the 20th here. And we can see again $44.99. So we could put that in here. And now we're going to come back to our ads manager. We'll come to the 20th. And we can see we only spent, if we come over here, £30.66 on this day. And again, one order fulfilled. So our cost of goods was $17.99. We're going to come to the 21st. So let's come to the 21st. We'll hit apply. We can see $89.33 on this day. So we'll come in here, $89.33. So that was 2 orders. We can see how many orders it was, 2 orders over here. And we can come to the 21st in here. and we'll hit update. And we spent $69.22 on this day. So we can come back over here and we can put in $69.22. And we spent £36, so that's $35.98. So we could put $35.98 for the cost of goods. So you can see we're getting into loss now. So that's why, this is a fairly early indication that we might kill this soon. We're going to come back and continue on for the next couple of days. So we'll go to the 22nd. You can see 22nd, we brought in £178. That was 4 sales. So we're going to come back over here, 178. We'll double this, so 36, that's 72 we'll just put in, just to make it easy. And then we've got our ad spend. So we'll come back to the 22nd, and we can see on the 22nd, we spent 70 plus 12, we spent £82. So we'll come back over. I am rounding some of the numbers up just to speed this up. So that was our first day of profit. So you get the idea. We've rode the wave here a bit of loss, and now we've made our first day of profit. So if you see this is a good sign. Doesn't mean that you're going to be profitable, but that means we've had our first profitable day. So now we could gain some momentum. That's what I'm talking about with the learning phase. The more sales you get, the easier Meta can find sales for you. So then you can go through this phase. As long as you're making a few sales, it's collecting data. Then you could start to get some profitable days. Now with this particular product, that didn't happen, but I'm just giving you an idea of how you should think about it for your own stores. So now we're going to look at the 23rd. So we're going to come over here. So this was actually 178.66, but we'll just leave it rounded for now. We'll come to the 23rd. 23rd was 134.36. So we'll come in here, 134.36. That was 3 sales. So 3 sales is going to be 54. Like I say, I've just rounded this up. And then we have our ads. So we'll come to the ads manager. We can see we spent $88.93. So we'll come back over here, $88.93. So this day we were a little bit in loss again. So now we'll come to the 24th. So let's come to the 24th. You can see we brought in no sales on the 24th, so we had a bad day on the 24th. So 0. And then if we come to our ads manager, we could come to the 24th. And you can see we spent $79.28, so a big loss on the 24th. $79.28. And you can see I'm still not completely at my total profit stop loss, which was $250, but I'm very close. So then we ran this for one more day. So we'll come over to the 25th now. We'll hit apply on the 25th. You can see we brought in 0 sales on the 25th. Right, so we're going to do 0. We'll come back to the ads manager for the 25th. We hit update. You can see we spent $51.74. So I'd scaled down a little bit. So we'll go to $51.74 and 0. And then finally, we'll do the 26th, just as the final day. So we'll go to the 26th. We brought in 1 sale, $44.30. So $44.30, $17.99. Now, the only problem with this product as well, the margins were quite small. So even when we brought in a sale, we didn't bring in a lot of profit. So that's another problem with this particular product as well. Our margins were quite tight. And we'll just come over here and we'll come to the 26th. And you can see we spent $39.74. And this is where we basically killed the product. So we'll put this in here and you can see I've hit my total loss, right? So that is a full snapshot of how we decided to kill this product, right? It wasn't working. If we have a look, we can go from this period, from the 17th to the 26th. We can have a look at some of the numbers. We can see, of course, our cost per result is very high. Our CPM is quite high. I said we want CPMs under $40. This is around $40, right? So it's just on the CPM threshold. Our CPC is £1.25. It's quite high. Our click-through rate is fairly low. So most of the numbers are not looking very good. Obviously, our ROAS is very low. It's not even close to break even. So all of the numbers are pretty bad. And that's why we decided we're going to kill this product. Then you can go back to the drawing board and decide where you went wrong. So you can look at your store's conversion rate. So we can have a look over this period, 17th to the 26th, was our store's conversion rate significantly low. So we can scroll down here, we can see the conversion rate was 3.13. That's actually not that bad. So if you have a conversion rate, let's say under 1%, there's a problem with your store, right? So if you have a very low conversion rate, you have a problem with your store. So in this instance, our conversion rate is around average, maybe slightly above average. Average conversion rate is 2 to 5%. So we just call it average. So it's nothing to do with our store. If we come over to our ads, like I say, the CPMs are fairly high, cost per clicks are quite high, click-through rates are average. So it's nothing to do with the click-through rate, it's probably the CPM, so we need to create better ads in this instance. And then the last thing, which I've already mentioned, is just generally the margin on this product was fairly small. So we need to think of a way to increase our margins, increase our average order value, so that we can turn some of these unprofitable days into profitable days. You can see some of these days, the loss wasn't that high. So if we could have turned some of these days into profitable days by having higher margins, we could have ran this product a bit longer. You could see a few of these days where we could have potentially made a profit if we had higher margins. So now let's move on and let's look at another product that we scaled, and I can show you the difference. So let's go over another store from January this year. We had already scaled it up fairly high, but I'm going to show you how we scaled it further with our ad campaigns. So we can come to the 1st of January. You can see we brought in $3,501. So we'll just come over here and we'll put in 3,501.61. Make sure you are tracking the numbers correctly. So I know I did round some of these here, but make sure you are putting them in precisely. Then we've got our ad spend. So we can come over here for this particular product. You can see on the 1st of January, 1635.13. So we'll come over here and we'll do 1635.13. Now our cost of goods for this product was around $12. So you can see we brought in 74 orders. So we do 74 times 12 is 888. I'm just rounding this up. So we can put in 888. So we had a pretty profitable day on this first day. Now, like I say, we had already scaled this up fairly high. We're spending over $1,500 every day on ads. But we basically just done the same thing that I'm going to show you. We scaled it slowly by incrementing 10 to 20% every day because we were seeing consistent profits. And I'm going to show you that now. So now we can come to the second day, which is the 2nd of January. So we'll come in here, we'll go to 2nd of January and we'll hit apply. We can see we brought in 3,302. So we'll come over here, 3,302.60, and we'll come into the ads manager for the second. You can see 1,649.65. So 1,649.65. And then we can see how many sales we brought in, 66. So we'll do 66 times 12, which is 792. So we can come in here for our cost of goods. We could put in 792. And you can see we had another profitable day. It wasn't as profitable, but it was still pretty profitable. So now this is a good indication that we're going to start scaling this product. So we can come back in here. We're going to go to the 3rd now. We'll hit apply. You can see on the 3rd, we actually brought in quite a lot less. So we'll just wait for this to load and we'll come back to the ads manager. We'll come to the 3rd and we'll hit update. You can see we spent 1,655.41 on ads. So we'll come in here, 1,655.41. We can have a look. We brought in 56 sales. So we'll just change this to 56. So that's 672. So we didn't have a massively profitable day on this day in comparison to the previous 2 days. And then we've got 2714.15 here. 2714.15. So you can see the profit has gone down. And that's why you want to track this. It doesn't matter too much about revenue. You want to track your profits. There's no point of scaling your campaigns if you're not increasing in profit. Even if you're increasing in revenue, if you're not increasing in profit, there's no point of scaling the campaigns because you're just having to fulfill more orders and deal with more customer service headaches, but you're not actually making more profit. So always make sure, even if you're scaling your campaigns, to track the profit daily because you only want to increase your ad spend and increase your revenue if your profits are also increasing. Otherwise, you're just scaling in vain. You're bringing in more sales, more revenue, but you're not actually gaining anything out of it. You're just giving yourself more customer service headaches, more orders to fulfill, more problems. So now we can come to the 4th. So we'll come over here and we will go to the 4th. We'll hit apply. You can see 3272.83. So we'll come in here, 3272.83. 83. And then we've got the ad spend. So we'll come to the fourth for the ad spend. And you can see we spent slightly more. So we scaled up. So we've got 1824.59. So we'll come back over here. 1824.59. And then we can see we've got 59 orders, which is 708. So we can come over here, 708. And we're basically, at this point, we haven't changed how much we're spending. It will fluctuate when you get to bigger numbers. So you might think that we scaled the campaign here, even though I've just said we had less profit, so why would you scale? We haven't scaled the campaign. Sometimes Meta will spend slightly more one day, slightly less one day, even if you leave the budget, right? It will fluctuate the budget. It won't always spend the exact budget that you set it to. But you can see we increased our profits, right? So now we've increased our profits, we can begin scaling. So we're going to come back to day number 5. We'll hit apply. You can see we brought in 2288.45. So we'll come over here, 2288.45. And we made 47 sales. So this is how you see things can go up and down when you're running meta ad campaigns. This is why you should track them daily. And then you can get a weekly snapshot of your overall profit for the week. So now we'll come to the 5th. We'll hit update. You can see we spent 1740.92. So again, slightly less. 1740.92. Okay, now you can see for this particular day, we made a loss. That's fine. You are going to have some days where you make a loss, okay? Even when you're scaling a product. We'll come to the 6th now. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and basically explain how we decided to start to scale. So now we've got 231776. So we'll come over here, 231776. And we've got our ad spend. So we'll come back here, we'll come to the 6th. We'll hit updates. You can see 168170. So if we come over here, we've got 168170. And then we've got our cost of goods, right? So 49 orders and 588. So we're going to come over here, 588. Okay, so we barely made any profit that day. Now I'm going to fast forward to a month. We basically track this for an entire month. Things are going up and down. We have some profitable days. We have some days of loss. We have some days of basically break even. But what happened over a period for the rest of January, we started to make a lot of profitable days, right? And then we scaled up in February. So we go to a random day in February. Let's go back to the analytics. We'll come all the way to February. We'll come to the 24th of February. You can see we brought in 3815 in February. As a matter of fact, we can come to a random day. We'll go to the 1st of March. Right? You can see 1st of March, we brought in 4K. And we'll go to the ad spend for the 1st of March. We'll hit update. And you can see the amount that we spent was kind of similar. So we've only been scaling the budget very, very slowly, right? So you can see we are scaling this product pretty slowly. We have gone from a $1,500 daily ad spend to a $2,000 daily ad spend now over a few months period. And like I say, the reason that we're doing that is because we don't just want to scale revenue, we also want to scale profits. You can see we're having some days where we didn't scale profits. So that's why we're scaling slowly. The other reason is that this is a seasonal product. So we are going to be pushing it a lot harder throughout the summer. It is a seasonal summer product, so we expect to make a lot more sales in the summer. So we're going to start pushing the daily ad spend throughout the summer as well. But the key thing I want you to take away from this video is that you need to know your numbers when it comes to killing or scaling an ad campaign. You can see the ad campaign we showed you that we killed. We had our total profit and loss, so we set ourselves a stop loss. Once we got to that, then we killed the campaign, and then you will go back to the drawing board. You're going to read the numbers, you're going to look at the metrics. We have a full guide on how to read the metrics and read the numbers and what to look out for. And then for this particular product that we're scaling, we scaled slowly and we're scaling based on the daily profit. We want to make more profits and not just bring in more sales and revenue. We don't just want to scale in vain. We want to scale profitably. So you can scale slowly. And like I say, if you have a seasonal product, you are going to scale slowly as well. Now, of course, if you're a complete beginner, you are probably thinking, okay, so how do you scale up to these high numbers? You just do the same thing. You just scale slowly. You have some profitable days, you have some lost days. As long as you don't hit your threshold that you're willing to lose on your ad campaign, just keep riding the wave of profit and loss. Like I say, you'll go through something called the learning phase. So when you're in your ads campaigns, they will say learning phase. And once you come out of that learning phase, that means that you've got more data on your meta pixels and on your ad campaigns so that it can find customers easier for you. So just think of any loss that you're spending on a campaign, just think of it as you're purchasing data. You're getting data on your pixel, and also you're able to read the metrics so you can see where you need to improve. Is it your store's conversion rate? Do you have a low conversion rate, under 2%, for example? Then you need to do something on your store to improve it. Your store design, it could be your product pricing, it could be the offer of your product is not appealing enough, so you need to do something there. Is it your ad metrics? So is your click-through rate low? Are your CPMs high? Then you need to do something with your ads. And if you're just seeing consistent profitable days, just increase the budget 10 to 20% every 3 to 5 days. That's all you need to do. Just come into your ad budget. So you can come over here. If we scroll across, you'll see the daily budget. You can just go and change this and increase it 10 to 30% every 3 to 5 days, depending on how profitable you are. So if you've had a very profitable day, you can increase it 30%. If you've had a mildly profitable day, you can increase it 10%. So those are all the things that you need to do. So for example, on this day here, even though this was a bad campaign, we had a profitable day, we could increase our budget by 10%. I wouldn't recommend doing it just after one day. You want to see a few profitable days in a row. So like I say, every 3 to 5 days is where you would increase the budget. So if you see 3 profitable days in a row, then you can increase the budgets. If the profits are kind of low, increase it by 10%. If the profits are high, increase it by 30%. And then wait another 3 to 5 days. If it continues like that, then increase it again. If it's break even, just leave it and let it spend and collect the data. So that is all you need to do when it comes to killing or scaling an ad campaign. Don't overcomplicate things. Just make sure you are tracking the numbers and you are making informed decisions based on the daily profit or loss of the ad campaigns. That is it for this entire course. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more e-commerce content, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.